What the fuck? What the fuck? Am I live? Am I live? Am I live? It's not YouTube. It's not YouTube. It's not YouTube. Wow. It's buffering everywhere, guys. It's and I just went live and I didn't pick this. Okay, so I didn't pick this topic here. That's weird. All right, so okay, let me get a link to this one, folks. Wow, this is crazy. So my internet, there's construction going on around here. I'll bet they cut the internet out. Wow. So, okay, good. That's crazy. Yeah, it's not YouTube, guys. It's not YouTube. We can't blame YouTube. Although for a moment I thought maybe my channel disappeared there. No, it's, I'm here. So we've only got 182. We had 400 over there. So, wow. That sucks. People just walk away when things happen. Why don't you come back, man? It's not rocket science. Okay, let me fix this very quickly here, and I'll get back to that. Okay, gosh, bless it. Yeah, the internet just crapped out, just disappeared for like 30 seconds, just long enough for the thing to disconnect. So let me adjust this real quick. Oh my goodness! Now it's nowhere here. Oh jeez, I got to fix all this stuff. My goodness. Oh my goodness. So all right, so let me just fix this. Oh jeez, change. Oh my goodness, where's the refugee thing? Oh my goodness. Anyway, well, I'll just do that for later. Well, I have to do it now, otherwise people aren't going to be able to find it. What am I saying here? Change. Went to refugee. So the documents. Come on. Oh, see, this takes so much time now because this stuff screwed up. Refugee. Where's the refugee? Where's my Kaffee Klatsch? It's not called that. God bless it. Okay, another way for me to do this is this way. Sorry, folks. It's just very frustrating, annoying stuff here. Okay. Very annoying. Stream ended 2 minutes ago. Watch replay. I assume. Colonel. I am live, Karen. I'm live. What are you talking about, stream ended? What are you talking about, stream ended? I'm here. I'm here. You're typing in me talking live. What do you mean it's ended? I'm here. All right. Download. Okay. I'm here. Okay, so let me fix this. Takes a second to recover all this crap, folks. Give me a second here. Oh boy. Okay, so I didn't put testing YouTube mind of its own. I'll put restart on this one. Okay, yeah, the internet just went out. That's just unbelievable. No, it's not unbelievable. It's infrastructure. You got to have good infrastructure, and all the construction around here is ruining the infrastructure. Yep. All right. So there we go. No, I got to fix a few more things here so that people don't steal my content. Recording dates today. No. Okay. Got it. News and politics. This is going to go to nonprofit activists. Okay. Got it. All right. Now we're back. Okay. Is everybody with me now? But nobody's chatting. Nobody's chatting. Oh, you are chatting. Chat's disabled. What? What do you mean chat's disabled for the stream? Something's not making sense here. What is going on with YouTube? The chat's disabled. I didn't disable chat. What the heck? I can't see the chat in my damn thing. This is all messed up. Oh, it says anyone can chat, so 20 minutes. Save. My goodness. Chat is not disabled. Wow. Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on here, folks. This also says that 465 people currently watching. Do I really have 465 people, or is it just pulling my leg? This says 341. Somebody's pulling my leg. It also says I'm not live. There we go. Now, oh my goodness. Yeah, close and reopen, but that doesn't solve my problem. I had 465 when we got dropped off, and I lost the internet. Now we're at 363. Okay, got it. Okay, but I can't see the chat over here, but at least let me do this. I'll know that I'm live. 5, 10, 15. Okay, so if I see my hands go up over here, yes. Okay, all right. All right, well, we'll continue on like this. Sorry about that, folks. Okay. I mean, this is just crazy. I mean, it's insane. It's absolutely insane, folks. It's insane. Honestly, it's insane. I mean, it's just insane. Oh, it's been 3 weeks. Okay, get a grip. I mean, honestly, people have no idea what's involved here. A thorough background investigation must be completed to prove who you are, where you're from, what you're saying is true. That has to take place. There's an administrative process that has to take place. Interviews have to be conducted. Medical screening has to be done. All this stuff takes time. It's insane. Baby Chris, I'm telling you, it's insane, folks. It's insane. Baby Wyatt. No, Ronald, it's not YouTube. This was my ISP, I'm pretty sure, because everything was out. It was only for like 30 seconds, but just long enough to get disconnected. I've had YouTube keep me on longer, so that was very frustrating. So, yeah, no, it just, there's a whole hiccup in the network. Anyway, we were talking about the embassy website. It wasn't YouTube. We can't blame YouTube for this one. Cannot blame YouTube for this one because it's not their fault. Hang on, where are we at here? I want to find the embassy website. Where did I have that at when I got unceremoniously dumped? Okay, so intake questionnaire. That's where we're at. We're talking about the intake questionnaire. Now, I can't see your chat over here, folks, because it's not showing up on my screen for some reason. I don't know why, but I'll try to keep talking through this. Anyway, so you must go to that questionnaire. So the server, let's go back to the questionnaire. Oh, that's not it. That's my YouTube channel. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so the questionnaire. So what I want, oh, they're on the questionnaire. Here you go. Make sure you follow the instructions. Before initiating, please read the U.S. Mission website, which provides important information about admissions for South Africa. Okay? So what does this take us to? Let's see what that takes us to. That just takes us to the main page, I think. All right. Yeah, it just takes us back to the main page. So read this clearly. Make sure you understand all of this information. The implementing partners, Church World Services, referrals, case processing, important notice about fraud and scams, travel arrangements, no pets, okay? This is what you have to do. This is what you must read. Read all of that before you fill out the questionnaire. Then go to the questionnaire and be prepared to answer questions. For the best experience, use a laptop or desktop. People keep using mobile phones. I'm telling you, I know some people, it's their only connection to the internet, and I appreciate that. But if you don't have a laptop or PC, someone you trust, go to their home and ask to use their computer, okay? Now my power's fluctuating. My power just fluctuated. Something's going on here. There's no storm outside. The sun is shining. There's my power again. And something is going on here. Someone's construction is dicking with my neighborhood. They probably cut into a power line or they did something. They surged. This is the problem with constant construction. This is what happens when you let lots of people come to your country. You let people move into your country. You let people move in your neighborhood. This is the crap that happens. You lose services. You lose water. You lose sewage. You lose power because now they're drawing on it like leeches. They also suck on it just like you do. Anyway, that's what's going on. It's not load shedding. Some idiot in construction out there is probably doing something. Working. Oh, Jesus! Swear to God. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Questionnaire done and dusted on a computer. Yeah, do it on a computer. So that's what I was trying to say. Computer. Anyway, ensure you're in a place with a strong internet connection when you attempt to access and complete the questionnaire. Again, try at a less busy time if you run across the system and it's slow or you can't load pages, because there's a lot of users. Despite the comments of South African media and some politicians, there is no slow uptake on this. There is no slow uptake. There's a lot of people doing this site. Turn off your VPN if that might cause a problem. And note that you may not request referral. You may not request referral, including through this questionnaire, if you're outside South Africa. Okay. All right. Well, then I guess that tells you if you're an H-2A visa, then you're screwed. You can't do the questionnaire. No, be sure to read all the instructions on both the initial landing page and on the dashboard page before you begin completing your questionnaire. Remember to save before exiting if you need to exit. Yeah. Before submitting your entire family group. So follow those instructions. Most of the problems people have been encountering because they're not following those instructions. They just rush right in to fill out the questionnaire. I caution people from the moment that thing came up, it's going to take hours to do it. Hours and hours and hours to do it, potentially. So if you have any complications, like you have this stepson, that adopted child, you were detained here, you were in the police, you were in the military, you have any complications, you were fraudulently accused of this, you went to court, you were found innocent, anything like that, then it's going to take you longer to pull all the information in. So just be prepared. And also be patient, okay? A lot of people being impatient and freaking out and sending things in that are unnecessary. All right, okay, well, here it is. I've got the same thing open twice now. 488, 488. Okay, all right, so I can close that one out. Be darned. Yeah, so we wound up having 727 people watch the other one, and we got a super chat for 235. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. So let me save this, because I didn't have a saved image for that broadcast. I saved the screen of all my images to see if I get messed with by PooTube. Anyway, here we go. All right, so this is very frustrating. I can't see the chat over here in my streaming software right in front of me, just right there to the side. Anyway, but that's what we're dealing with now. A white Zulu, and what's this? So, South Africa, white guy mayor speaks Zulu. So what? Chris Papa speaks Zulu. I've covered that. So that's, I guess that's the clickbait stuff. I covered Chris Pappas. I didn't get 53,000 views on YouTube. What's with YouTube? Hiding content. I've interviewed Chris Pappas several times. Anyway, waited 6 months and 3 days, and I filled in the form, and I'm patient, says Kathleen. Okay. 7 hours to complete the question. See, Anthea, there you go. 7 hours. Yep. On Instagram, I don't really do Instagram. Samantha, what are you talking about? And I stopped doing TikTok too. 8 weeks since our interview, CW asked if we can leave immediately. No update. Dashboard still shows under review. Well, Jonathan, I don't know. Is there something in your background? I know that some people who think that they've done nothing wrong or don't have any issues, in fact, have criminal allegations or complaints or charged against them in the past that are slowing up some of their cases. That I know. So, in fact, a couple people who contacted me, that's the case, I believe, but I can't 100% verify that, so I'm not going to tell them that individually. But yeah, there are things can hold it up. But again, I've explained to people in a recent video what's going on here. What's going on here? Well, number one, they're rushing. They're rushing. They also brought another implementing partner on. That's the Afrikaners, who are limited in staff. So they're rushing. And when you rush, you make mistakes. You forget things. You miss appointments. You fail to tell people things. You don't inform people properly. That's what happens when people rush, ladies and gentlemen. That's what happens when people rush. They're rushing things, okay? So that's the first problem. The second problem is that you have people from Kenya and Americans who've been sent to South Africa who are sent there, they're bureaucrats. They don't know South Africa. They don't know Heidelberg from Heidelberg, Western Cape versus Gauteng. They don't know Uppington. They don't know that it's a freaking god-awful long drive from Cape Town to Pretoria, and it's dangerous, and it'll cost you about 4,500 Rand in petrol. They don't know that. And so they're not making wise decisions, and they're scheduling interviews and medical examinations in different places on different days instead of taking care of one-stop shopping. Many people have done one-stop shopping. They've had to go to Pretoria for once. They do interview. They get called in for a second interview. They do medicals. They go home. They hear later on they're approved. They're told where to go, and they get on a flight. That's how it's supposed to work. But unfortunately, it's not working that way in some cases. In fact, far too many cases. I've tried to contact the U.S. government and tell them this. I don't know if they're hearing me or listening. Very frustrated by this. The big concern we have now is the people who are being jerked around and told, come to Pretoria, and then they don't get an interview. And then they leave, and then they're said, well, why didn't you do your fingerprints? What fingerprints? You bastards wouldn't let me do an interview. They didn't say that. I'm saying that. Yeah. Then they're told, okay, well, you're in Pretoria. Okay, tomorrow we need you to be in Cape Town. What do you think? These people are Bill Gates? They just made of money? It's not cheap to get from one part of South Africa to the other. It's not easy. It's also not safe. It's ridiculous. Extended adult family submitted 12 May and filled out new intake. Crickets for all of us, not complaining. We continue to wait patiently. Well, Lana, you can understand, Lana Banana, that the people who jumped on this immediately and finished the intake questionnaires. There were people waiting for those intake questionnaires. Those people got contacted immediately. Now, you have to understand that that starts a process. It's a lengthy process, which involves a lot of things. It's not like, okay, call this person. All right, now you've been contacted. We set up a case. Okay, now let's start the next one. No, you call this person. You start a case. All the stuff that goes on behind the scenes to start that case takes time, hours, days to make that case go. And depending on how many people I have, just because you've done the intake questionnaire doesn't mean you're going to be called tomorrow. A lot of people got that, but that was at the outset, not now. And a lot of people complaining about, well, I did this months ago. I haven't heard from anybody. Well, my expectation is that what's happening is that the people working on the intake questionnaire are new or different people than have been working for cases referred by RSC or the Amerikaners. And therefore, they're sitting there waiting for these cases, and that's why they're responding. They're not dealing with the ones that have not gotten responses that were promised to them already. Thank you, Mike, but you're way behind. That's something I said, how long ago? 10 minutes ago. Yeah, it's disabled in my streaming software. For some reason, it won't connect. It also started a new stream without me even asking it to. I never canceled my stream, and suddenly it went live again, and it just picked a title I'd used in the past. So I don't know. It blamed it on YouTube, but it wasn't YouTube's fault. It was my ISP. Yes, Sandy, I do know how many. The U.S. government indicated that there were over 700 who'd been approved when they stopped flying people out on the 26th of September. That was 26th. But now we're talking a month and a half later. I can tell you with a fair amount of confidence that over 2,000 people are waiting to fly to America. Over 2,000 people are waiting for flights that have been approved. They're in the program. Everything's done and dusted. Now, that doesn't mean they won't be pulled back. I mean, if someone discovers something about you late in the process, you could be pulled back. But I can tell you with full confidence that over 2,000 people have been processed and are waiting to go. Also, for those of you who are freaking out about the cap, the limit on refugees, take a deep breath. Exhale. Namaste. Don't worry about a cap. Don't worry about a cap. If you think that they're only going to take 7,000 South Africans out of 7,500 people for the year and stop right there, take a deep breath. Let it out. Otherwise, you'll pass out. Let it out. But take a deep breath. Namaste. It's going to be okay. All right? Every day, the South African government goes to great lengths to insult America and try to play the victim, pretending they've been attacked. There are no sanctions on South Africa. There are no sanctions on South African politicians. No action diplomatically has been taken against South Africa. There's no blockade of South Africa's ports. There is no cutting off of the SWIFT system for financing for South Africa. The U.S. has not sanctioned U.S. companies working there. It has not banned U.S. companies from working there. It has not prevented U.S. banks from being there. The United States facilitated a $1.4 billion loan through the IMF to South Africa in just recent weeks. There is no attack on South Africa. This is a fantasy created by leftist, hate-wanking politicians and the media in South Africa and outright black supremacists and racists who want to make South Africa a victim. Thank you, Nikki Bota. I am well rested. I went to bed. I took a nap last night and fell asleep watching a silly movie called Playdate. And then I woke up when it was over and wound up watching Fallout. Fallout started automatically. My streaming was still going, and I started watching the Fallout series, which is pretty creepy. And then I went to bed early, a little bit after midnight, and I got plenty of rest. So I am well rested for a change. Yesterday I was yawning all day long in all the games. So they are going out of their way to insult the United States and lie about the United States and claim the United States is attacking South Africa. And it's utter nonsense. It's utter nonsense, folks. I have a video. It'll be coming out after the stream. I was editing it. There wasn't time to finish it. That video will come out, and it will talk about how Ronald Lamola is the latest South African senior government official to call Donald Trump a white supremacist. And then they claim that they're negotiating with America while they're insulting our president. Can you imagine if someone ran around and called in official position, not a commentator, but a senior member of our government called Cyril Ramaphosa a black racist? Could you imagine the uproar over that? South Africa would freak out. But America is just supposed to take these insults and these lies about our country and say nothing about it. Of course, Donald Trump has done more for black people than most American presidents in modern living history, if not all. So it's absolutely ridiculous to hear this nonsense. Absolutely ridiculous nonsense. But, the South African government and the media are intent on making South Africa a victim, and the leftists are propping the country up left and right. Standard & Poor's comes out with a bullshit assessment, upgrading the debt to one level. But it remains junk bond status. Why? Because the G20 summit is coming. They want to make South Africa look good to prompt foolish investors into putting their money in South Africa. CNN comes out with a documentary in which they misled me when they said it was about South Africa on the eve of the G20. As they turn it over, they want to talk about the economy and what's going on in South Africa, and they want to touch on refugees. Could I get them access to a refugee? And initially, this is why I know the whole thing was a lie. It was all set up. They didn't talk to me about they didn't ask me to get in touch with the refugees. They were going to have me go to Atlanta to be interviewed, or have me go somewhere else to be interviewed, but they had me go to to Birmingham, Alabama. And it was obvious that they didn't want to interview me anymore. They just did it as a perfunctory because they already committed to it. And they wanted access to Earl Langton because Earl was on the fence. And I talked to Earl and I said, well, they say they want to do this thing. If you want to talk to them, it's you're an adult, you can handle it. And so Earl agreed after I talked to him. And then they said, okay, well, we want you to come to Birmingham now. Why? Just perfunctory. Yeah, so just in case he backed out, probably. But yeah, no, this whole white genocide nonsense that the leftists are promoting and CNN is pushing is all on the eve of the G20 summit. And by the way, plane loads of Palestinians who are not refugees, they're not registered anywhere with anybody as a refugee. They are not fleeing from a conflict. They don't live in FEMA tents, and they do not are not registered. Those are all the preconditions that Ronnie Lamola lied about earlier this year and said the South Africans can't be refugees because they don't live in tents. They're not fleeing. They've not fled from a war zone to another country, and they're not registered with the UN. Remember that? Ronnie Lamola said those three things. That means you're not refugees. But now the Palestinians show up from an air base in Israel, and they fly into South Africa on a mission that they paid to come to get out of Gaza. They asked to leave. They applied to leave. They paid as much as $5,000 per person to get the hell out of Dodge. They flew to Kenya, and then flew on to South Africa. Yet we have people claiming that they were misled. Marshall Eagle, thank you for that. Welcome. They claim that they're misled. So according to the definition that Ronald Lamola put forward earlier this year, those Palestinians cannot be refugees, but he's calling them refugees, and this media are calling them refugees, but they're not refugees. They haven't asked for refugee status. They haven't asked for asylum. They can stay in South Africa for 90 days. There's no visa requirement. So what's the big stink about? So if we use Ronald Lamola's level of reasoning for South Africans not being refugees, then these Palestinians aren't refugees. But of course, they can be refugees. You don't have to be registered with the UN. You don't have to be living in a tent, and you don't have to flee from a conflict zone, depending on the laws of the nation that accepts you. The laws of the United States are that we can do in-country resettlement for people who are suffering persecution. And the perfect example of this I give all the time is the one about being gay. If you're a homosexual, thank you, Ebola Games. If you're a homosexual that lives in Syria and your life is in jeopardy because you're gay, they don't like gay dudes, well, do we wait to grant you refugee status until after you've been dropped off a roof to your gruesome death? Or do we offer you refugee status in advance of that because you have a genuine fear of persecution for belonging to a social group of homosexuals? We grant you refugee status. Do we wait until you've been murdered on a farm or your home is, or do we wait until you starve to death because you lost your job because you're white, or because you're colored before we give you refugee status? No. You're being granted in-country refugee status because you have a genuine fear of persecution. That's what this is all about. And it's not for farmers. It's not for Afrikaners. It's not for white people. It is for racial minorities in South Africa suffering unjust racial persecution. There you go. There you go. 649 currently here. Thanks for joining me on a Sunday evening, South Africans. And for those here on the East Coast of the United States, if you're missing football, I'd be shocked. But thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. I can't see the chat here in my streaming, so I have to look over here to the right. So don't be distracted by me looking over here. Just look at a lovely, beautiful view of my profile. I don't know if this is my best side. This might be my better side. There you go. All right, so also want to know, where did these refugees get the funding? And they were vetted properly, background checked. Well, they weren't background checked, so they couldn't be refugees in America. They couldn't be. We wouldn't let them in, but South Africa doesn't have any such law. South Africa allows you to claim asylum even if you're in the country illegally. America will not allow you to apply for asylum if you enter this country illegally. Although the humanitarian program that Joe Biden fictitiously applied to the millions of criminal invaders who invade our country, thereby encouraging them to violate our laws and violate our sovereignty, he gave them that ability to stay here, which was illegal. But we don't, under the law, allow people to claim asylum unless they're in the country legally. And refugees must be vetted before they come to the country, outside the country. They don't get vetted after they come here. They get vetted before they come here. That's how they become refugees. These people are not vetted. And how do they get the money? Because they're not dying and starving in the way that people claim they are. So, I mean, if you live in Gaza and you can have $5,000 to get through the exit point and go through the Allenby crossing and get down a remote airbase, you obviously have access to cash. Something must be functioning. Either that or you have it buried in a strong box, just waiting for this day. Vaynit Muller, thank you for joining us. So what is being said about Gaza obviously isn't all true. These are people who have means. The average poor Gazan can't get out. They don't have $1,500 to $5,000 to get out and take 4 people on a flight. These are people who have means. Yes. So where to get the money? They got the money because they have the money. Because the lies told about Israel are amazing. Off the roof. Will they contact and WhatsApp for second interview? Keegan, okay, why do you ask such a strange question, the second interview? Why would you, why? I don't understand the root of that question. Would they contact me on Teams for the third interview? They will contact you in whatever method they can. And yes, they have called people on WhatsApp. I've confirmed they have, but what do you mean for the second interview? Why are you asking that question? Is there a hidden question underneath that you aren't willing to ask? Have somebody contact you on WhatsApp and you ignored them? Is that what you're telling us? I mean, I don't understand the question. Why do people ask half questions? Stop beating around the bush and pussyfooting. Ask your questions, folks. Ask your question. Be straightforward. Don't try to go, I seen it from friends, but what about this and that and this? Oh, okay, so that means this. Ask your question. I can't do analysis when you give me half questions, folks. Yes, Gift to the Givers is helping them. And XWorkZX says, well said. I'm not sure what I well said, but thank you. Ooh, the wind. Guys, please don't share details about interview locations. Do not. If somebody's sharing interview location, someone needs to delete that very quickly. That is illicit. You're not allowed to do that. You have jeopardized. We have people that would have been in America, but some loudmouth dirtball, Afrikaner, opened her mouth and put in Facebook and WhatsApp groups where they were being interviewed and told the whole process. And as a consequence, they had to find a different venue, shut things down for a few days. Stupid people do stupid things. You do not disclose your location. It's nobody's damn business. Don't tell me. And people, I know where locations are because people have disclosed them. I've never disclosed a location, and I never will disclose a location because it's none of your damn business. It's only your business if you've been contacted by the U.S. government or one of its implementing partners and they've told you where to go. And that's as far as it goes. That's it. No one else needs to know. No one on this planet. Your sister, your brother, your lover, your small house. Nobody needs to know. Do not tell people. Now, people have told me, which has been helpful for me to analyze the program, and I can confirm based on other information I have, but there's no need to tell anybody. That is an operational security issue, and you jeopardize your status, and you jeopardize the processing of other legitimate refugees. So don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, so Renee Bielefeld. So let me say something here. Rudolph Skeppers must have said something, so I'm going to respond to you. People don't take offense to this. I'm not targeting people, but I also heard they could be ex-soldiers from Gaza, but there was an 8 and 9 month pregnant female soldier among them. Okay, do you have any evidence that these people are soldiers? I heard they were Alpha Centaurians from the Andromeda Galaxy. That's what I heard. What you heard doesn't matter. People talk out their ass all the time. Yes, we saw military-age adult males in the crowd, in the photograph where they all smiled at O.R. Tambo. Beyond that, what information we have? Nothing. Nothing other than YouTube videos from people that are cockprodders. What other people say doesn't mean jack if they can't back it up or if they don't have any analysis to support what they're saying, okay? So let's be careful about that, okay? Amen, says Dylan Kumbrick. When I got my call, it was very broken signal. The lady phoned me back immediately. Well, that's nice, Kronia, that she did that because I've had people complain that they just talk straight through. So, yeah, that's good. Which state would you choose between Texas and Arizona? Given the choice, Miguel, neither one of them are appealing to me, but I've lived in Arizona, and I would choose Arizona over Texas in a heartbeat. Texas is too hot, too humid. Arizona's a desert. I can put air conditioning in the desert. Also, you can get to the higher altitudes up north. It's just beautiful, lovely stuff. Or you can live in the Chiricahua Mountains down south. Those are options. Yeah, I wouldn't want to live in Texas. And I don't hear that it's a red state, blue state. Who cares about that? I want to live where it's comfortable and safe, and there's great opportunity. So yeah, I would choose Arizona if I had a choice, but I wouldn't live in Phoenix. God no, the Valley of the Sun they call it. I call it the Valley of Death. You will roast in Phoenix. Go to Flagstaff, go up north somewhere, go down to Sierra Vista. Do not go to Phoenix, man. Tucson's okay, but it's hot too. What happened to Rhonda? I didn't see this. Something for Rhonda. Love your sense of humor. Got contacted after the new forum only saying that I've been successfully referred to RCS, which was from Americaners. Cool. Vanette, glad you're able to fill the new one out. Good evening. Oh, there's Rhonda Absalon says, good evening. Everyone tuned in. Colored family over here. We received our approval letters on Friday morning. Okay, well, hold on. Okay, hold on. You couldn't have received an approval letter if you haven't undergone medicals. You have to undergo the medicals. So maybe you've received a letter giving you provisional approval. Is that what it says, provisional approval? All right. If I'm sorry, I'm not to rain on your parade, Rhonda, but if one of you have active TB, you're not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. Not until it's latent. Has to be put back to sleep if you have TB. So I'm not that you have that and don't respond. I'm just saying if you have a provisional letter, that's great. You're progressing, but you're not going to get a flight date until you've done medicals. They review the medicals and you've done your orientation. After that, then you can get a flight date. So that's great news, but don't misunderstand or misread what's happening. Okay. All right. Yeah, wait a second, Rhonda. Wait, no. Okay. Hold on. Wait a second. You're colored and you're going, but I was told by Ronald Lamola this is for white Afrikaners. It's for farmers. You can't go. Don't defraud my government. We don't let colored people come here. This is a white supremacy country, according to Ronald Lamola. You can't come over here. You're brown. Donald Trump hates brown people, according to Ronald Lamola and Ibrahim Rasool. We heard it from the horses' mouths. We couldn't possibly be letting colored people come over here. Who let this happen? I'm going to intervene. I'm going to stop this from happening. Oh, my goodness. Congratulations, Rhonda. That's progress on your program there. Don't share location. Interviews get stopped for all while they relocate. Yep, lips are sealed. And at some point, undercover FG, there's simply no place else to go that's safe. My boss does not know what I'm doing. And your boss should know what you're doing. And your grumpy tunny should know what you're doing, unless you trust them. Keep it to yourself. Got a pre-flight approval, Uncle, waiting orientation and flight bookings now. We will let you know. All right, cool, Ruben. Okay, when we're over, we're doing an interview with you. Our story is different, need to share. Okay, well, Ruben, I look forward to your contact. I look forward to hearing from you and doing an interview. Everybody's got a different story, and yours should be interesting. Even if stats do not disclose a location in your email. Huh? Stats, do you mean states? I'm not sure what that was supposed to be. And I'm sorry, I got to turn all the way over here because the chat's not working here in front of me. We were contacted and had Teams meeting. We had the Teams meeting 3 weeks ago, but we haven't been receiving WhatsApp messages from. No reason to apologize. Unless you're rude or disrespectful or call me evil names, you don't have to apologize. There's misunderstandings. Not everybody speaks the same language. I speak American English and several other languages. What else? Can you please tell the U.S. government what Lamola did? Can we write someone to ask what you should please head the program? I feel lost our file. Jonathan, I'm sorry. I don't think they've lost your file. Maybe there is something in your background we don't know about. I'm reasonably intelligent and understand that you're not an omnipresent divine presence. How many folks will be flown out per week as per your guesstimation? Well, that's impossible to state, Ice Adventure. Thank you very much for the donation there. What was that? Super chat, 14 rand. No, $10. My friend also received an email from Americaners about 5 days, playing the new link. The friend is very, very excited. Cool. All right, thanks for sharing that, Joe, Texas. So, all right, projections. Okay, the problem with projections is they're only as good as the information you have and your ability to analyze them. So there are 2 flights per day, roughly 650 people, 700 people per day coming on U.S. flights from South Africa, 7 days a week normally, to the U.S. So that's 700 seats. Obviously, people like me and Ronnie Lamola and other people are filling up those flights and people going back and forth H-2A visa holders, yada, 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 people on vacation, tourists. So you're not going to get all those seats. The U.S. government can probably reserve seats on those flights. Probably, I would guess they could get maybe 15 seats per day max, maybe more. It just depends how far out in advance they book these seats. They're also probably pissing the airlines off because they've probably booked these seats and they had to cancel them because of lockdown. So I'm not sure how that works. But the U.S. government has authority over these carriers. They can take away their operating license. They can put restrictions on them. So they must comply. It's under the law and must comply with U.S. government's request for those seats. And they have priority. They can't be bumped. That's why when I get on a flight in Stuttgart and it's full on a Delta flight in 2006, I couldn't be booted. And they ran out of seats. So I got upgraded to business class because they had empty seats in business class. And they wanted to get another person on the flight who was economy, who had paid, but was not going to make the flight. The business seat was empty. I got moved to business. They put that seat full because they have to fulfill the U.S. government ticket. So I would say that 20 to 30 people per day could probably come over here easily once the thing starts. Once it starts. Now, having said that, there's nothing to stop the U.S. government from chartering a flight. We have plenty of airlines that have 757s that are available and other aircraft that could accommodate people, 787s. That might be a little harder, but 757s or the Airbus, the 757neo or Airbuses are available. So, yeah, it's possible. So if it's moving too slow, someone in the government can say we need more people over here or we want to clear the backlog and they could charter flights. So my estimation doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. I'm just giving you an informed basis for what I know about how the government books travel and how things go. So does that help? Adventure Ice. Zadri, Anta von Rendsburg, we've completed all our paperwork and have already received our location. We're just waiting for the flight tickets now. Do you think we'll still fly? Yes, I do. I do, Zandri. Unless you just got all that like in the last week. If you found all that out in September, you're golden. If you found all of that out in the first or second week of October, you're golden. You should get here by the end of the year. If, however, you just found out yesterday, then you might not get here because we're talking about probably 2,000 people that are approved now. Again, don't hold me to these numbers, folks. I don't have access to the government for this. I'm giving you a reasonable analysis of the information that's out there. You know, that's what intelligence analysts do. They take a little bit of information from here, a little bit of information from there, know the environment, know the circumstances, know how the systems operate, whether it's commercial aviation, which I understand, whether it's the government operations, which I understand, whether it's refugee programs. If you understand all that, then you can look at the possibilities. And I'm giving the possibilities. I'm not Senior von Rendsburg. I'm not Nostradamus, but I am usually pretty correct in my analysis. Jared loves content. Well, I'm glad you love it. Thanks for being here. Okay, 634 people here. Hit the like button, folks. 357 likes. Something wrong with that like button. Okay. And I will tell the government what Lamola did. Yes. But I won't be the only one. We were contacted for and had Teams meetings. We had the Teams meeting 3 weeks ago, but haven't been receiving what's that? Unknown number. Okay, I already saw that, Keegan. Okay. Yes, Sigi's saying, Ruben, those comments apart can be read wrong. Full sentences. Yes, please give me a full sentence. I can't understand part sentences. I'm not in your head. So how many country leaders are ditching the G20? 5. U.S., China, Russia, Mexico. Oh, that's the wrong finger. That's the one. and Argentina. 5. Undercover FG, that's true. Okay. Chris, if you've been contacted and did a telephonic interview with Embassy directly and waited 2 months for email and none of them received at all, should we still wait or fill in the form? Jessica Stratton, you ask a very good question, one which I'm going to put myself out on a limb here, okay? The embassy says you've been contacted, or it says interviewed, okay? All right, that you shouldn't do it. But I got to tell you something. If I were in your shoes, you want to know what I would do, Jessica? You want to guess what I would do? Even though some people said not to do it, do you know what I would do? And do you know why I would do it? I'll explain to you why I would do it, okay? They're saying it may jeopardize your case, but if you haven't heard from anybody in over 2 months, you've been wondering whether your case, what's going on with it. People are getting ready to come over. If I were in your shoes, I mean, you have nothing right now. You have no guarantee you're going anywhere if this is going to be approved. If I were in your shoes, I'm not telling you what to do. It's not my place, but I know what I would do. Because all that information has to be provided anyway. My approach would be the following. I would say to myself, what harm is there in filling out the refugee intake questionnaire? I mean, I haven't heard from anybody since June, July. I don't know what's going on. They haven't had the professional courtesy to contact me. So I think I'm going to fill out the intake questionnaire. Besides, they're going to ask me all the information anyway. They need it. This will just make it easier for them. Jessica, if I were Jessica Wyatt, I'm not, by the way. That's what I would do. Chris Matty says, I'm coming to Pennsylvania. No, you're not. No, you're not. Sacramento is close to South Africa climate. Yeah, it's also hot. It's in California. I like Alabama. I just don't know the economic situation there. I don't know why you like Alabama. It's miserably hot and humid. Oh, thank you. Utah, Texas, Florida, but it's up to them. I would take Utah in that three-way fight. Can I hear it? I cannot bear them, as you're right. Many admins have a God complex. Again, Maze, I've told people, get out of the WhatsApp groups. Stay out of them. They're toxic. Don't go to these WhatsApp groups because you guys are coming and generating all sorts of problems for things that are non-existent because people spread their bullshit opinions and don't know what they're talking about. My recommendation when it comes to WhatsApp groups is stay out of them. I established WhatsApp groups because people asked for them. And I did one. Then I did a second because Meta limits you to 1,025 people in a WhatsApp group. So I created one group. It wasn't enough. I created a second group. Well, I limit. No one can comment in there. So all you get is receive mode. If you've got a problem with my moderator, which would primarily be Hendo, that comments in it, then you tell me about it. Okay? Some people didn't like some of the language Hendo was using recently, so I asked Hendo to stop using that language. Also, Hendo's not here today. What's that all about? No, but seriously, if you're in a WhatsApp group where people keep coming to me like, well, this, that, and the other, and you're moderator. I'm like, I'm not even in that group. Why all these WhatsApp refugee groups are not mine. I have two groups in WhatsApp, one in Telegram. That's it. That's it. Now I have other groups. If you have a problem with that, you need to identify the name of the group. Stop bitching to me because you don't like something in the group unless you can identify the group. And stop blaming me for stuff other people do. Not that you did. People are doing that. We can all speculate, but honestly, I find it very convenient. South Africa suddenly taking in refugees at the same time some are leaving with acts like they're not suddenly taking refugees. This is all nonsense. It's being fomented by a certain group of people. Yes, no disrespect, but how are they getting letters without medical? Well, again, Jonathan, that's why I'm questioning the whole thing. How are they getting letters without medical? You can't have approval unless you've had the medical. You might get a provisional based on the background check, and maybe that's what it was. I can't speak to that because I didn't receive the letter. I haven't seen the letter. JJ Erasmus with 70 rand super chat. Some little clouds starting to form. Thank you for that. Okay, the gent that called us, they were so sympathetic. Some things I didn't feel comfortable saying, but he kept saying, I know it's hard, but please just say it. Yeah, no, you got to. You got to. If you want your case to go through. I heard the mosquitoes in Mississippi are so brutal they leave skin bruises and bones as evidence. There's a 350 from Silent Bob. Where's Jay at, man? Thank you for that super chat. Thank you. Clouds are definitely gathering now. That's a much bigger cloud. Yeah, look at that. So I'm not blocking the sun. Let me block the sun there of my bookcase. There you go. Yeah, so, mosquitoes are bad. They're also bad in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It depends where you're at. Thank you for what you're doing. Greatly appreciate it, says Johan Jacobs. You're welcome. When the AAs in high school, I had a pen pal in Michigan. How was that? Okay, I don't know what you're asking. When I had AAs, I don't know what AAs are. Alcoholics Anonymous in Michigan. No, what's Michigan like? Michigan's okay. It's nice. Parts of it are crazy, like Detroit. Dylan says, don't do this. Don't do what? Son living in Seattle. In the interview, can we request to be placed there if approved? You can request anything you want, guy. Request anything you want. Your son's there. They'll probably try to accommodate that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, fake admonishment of Rhonda. Okay. We're just waiting for a flight. The rest is done. Well, congratulations, Luna. That's good news. You're one of the 2,000 plus whoever in your group. Nameless gamer. People are laughing. What did I say was so funny? I said something funny. And there's another. Oh, Personal Chef is just subscribed. Thank you for that. Okay. Oh, my goodness. I'm still behind here. 40. There we go. Catching up. It's what worries me. People have not completed everything. They're getting letters, but we don't know they're getting letters, Jonathan. People are making claims in the chat. Dude, I'm not accusing anyone in the chat of lying, but people say all kinds of crap. That doesn't make it true. Y'all got to stop believing shit until you see it, okay? Honestly. South Africans, honestly. Just because somebody says something doesn't make it true, okay? Now, I'm not refuting Rhonda. She may very well have gotten a letter, but we don't know what the letter means. We don't know what the letter says. Did you read the letter, Jonathan? I didn't read the letter. Take a deep breath, brother. Take a deep breath. Media says, I want to go. Wife says no. Well, then you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision. One of my viewers in Hermanus, Barry, wife doesn't want to go. He says he's going. Says he's going. That's your choice. I have a friend, a dear friend, who's only been married for a couple of years. Wife wanted to go. They filed the application together, the statement of interest together. They've been contacted. They've been approved. Well, he's been approved, just waiting for a flight. She's going to stay. Her father convinced her to stay. Well, that's on her. So there goes their marriage. Not that they're getting divorced, but there goes their marriage. You all have to make decisions. I said from the outset, this program will break families apart. It will break relationships apart because people don't agree on things. You have to make a decision what's in the best interest for you and your family and your offspring. You. Not for your Tani, not for your not for Oma, not for Opa, not for your neighbor, not for your school teacher, not for your employer, for you. I don't ask any of you to come to my country. We got enough damn people pouring in this country. You want to come here, you meet the conditions, then you're welcome to come. Simple as that. But I would recommend mum's the word. You keep your mouth shut. You don't tell people about it, which I've been telling people for 9 months now. It's your choice. Something you have, a choice. Something you don't get in South Africa, choice. No communications since February. Only the red script from PM at that point. And I send myself emails. Well, William Wheeler, then why are you not filling out the intake questionnaire? Why haven't you done that since November 4th? It's been 12 days, almost 2 weeks. Fill out the intake questionnaire yesterday. Candace is going for interview and medical tomorrow. See, the same day. That's how it's supposed to happen. Perfect world. Jess says, my boss actually aware of our application. He's actually been very supportive. I know most people can't tell their bosses. Many just say it's a family emergency. Exactly. Chris Mattia has become a member. Thank you, Chris Mattia, for that. Okay. Anthea says, leave without her. I'm going solo. Hi, Chris. Where would you prefer to live? Fort Wayne, Indiana, Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Nashua, New Hampshire? Nashua, New Hampshire. Hands down. Love the fall in New England. New Hampshire is a conservative state. The only one in New England is a conservative state. Beautiful countryside. Beautiful. Nashville's okay. I'd rather live, well, that's where my radio show comes out of. I'd rather live along the Atlantic coast or up country, but, that's fine. Nashville's fine. Joe, Texas, already did the $10 super chat. Thank you for that. People are flooding their emails and not only request additional documents so far. By the way, your info is the most consistently reliable, helpful, following since May. Respect. Undercover Refugee. No, it is. And it's almost 100% correct. I've only been slightly wrong on a couple of things. I'm not boasting, but prove me wrong. People lied about what I said about the pets. They were wrong, not me. People lied what I said about why the refugee flow stopped. They were wrong, not me. People lied about who's eligible. They were wrong, not me. People lied about so many other things. People tried to claim things about me, and they've all been proven wrong time and again. Time and again. I'm not getting wealthy from this. I'm not getting an exalted position. I've turned down jobs that continue doing YouTube broadcast. Some people do things for altruistic reasons. I do it because I'm connecting with people and I'm helping people, and that's fantastic. But that's not my role here. I didn't do YouTube to help refugees. It didn't exist. I did it to bring the truth to people, and this is an extension of that. Thank you, Undercover FG. Hi, Chris. I've been contacted twice by Kenya for appointment, but they cannot find my linked person done by Amerikaners. Can't travel twice to over any advice. I would contact Amerikaners in your case. The Amerikaners try to be responsive. I know that. Also, I would suggest, Nicholas Thompson, you send me an email, and I'll see if I can contact Amerikaners on your behalf. I don't contact them very often. They're usually responsive to me, so maybe I can ask if they can check into your case and find out what's going on. I don't know they have any control over it because they refer cases to them, but if there's a problem with what's linked on the Amerikaners, then maybe the problem is at their location, what they're doing. If not, they can follow up. So no promises. I've got a million emails to go through. No promises. But if you send it to me, I can try. That's more than you have right now. Well, Anonymous, if you haven't got an interview yet, then you might consider doing the intake questionnaire. Yeah, the U.S. government was closed for 43 days, so we're playing catch up. If married and divorced and remarried, same person, yes, you do. Yes, you do, Francis Rose. You must account for every moment of your life. You were divorced for part of your life, and then you strangely remarried the same person. I don't know what guy went wrong the first time, but you sorted it out. Or maybe it's just for administrative purposes. Sometimes people do that for tax purposes. But yeah, you're going to have that documentation. You're going to have the documentation. Snippets from South Africa. We do our best to find homes for them. Who's that, Denny? Do we need to travel to the first meeting? Our current location is Cape Town. The interview was somewhere in Johannesburg. What must we do? You must go to the location, Nadine, if you want to be interviewed. They're not going to respond to you. They're not going to. You should have asked for a change in location when they assigned it to you. That's the only option you have. When you have them on the phone, tell them you're in Cape Town. Please come do the interviews in Cape Town. You're going to have to travel there, unfortunately. I mean, they're not going to respond. Folks, I don't understand this. A lot of people are like, I haven't heard from them. Do you have any idea how many emails they're getting every day? I get 3,000 emails a day in one mail account, and I'm just some dude who's broadcasting here. And that's not even my broadcast. It's my personal email account. I get 3,000 emails a day. That's no embellishment, folks. I have to constantly delete emails so I don't overrun my server now that there's a limit on it. And in the Refugee program, I'm getting over 100, 200 emails every single day on that alone in my account tied to this video, to this channel. That's me. Do you imagine how many emails RSC and the Americana is getting every single day? Tens of thousands. They don't have time to answer emails. That's why people they were freaking out a couple months ago. Oh, this says the program's frozen. No, it's an auto reply set up in their email. They should have changed it. They should have changed it to say that if you're from South Africa, this doesn't apply. But they just put the standard one out there that went out in January when Trump froze the program. So all the people in Kenya who are writing. And by the way, RSC is getting emails from people in Kenya, in Somalia, people in Chad, people all over Africa who are refugees, want to know about their case, what's the latest. They're getting inundated with tens of thousands of emails and calls from those people, not just from you. RSC handles the entire continent, not just South Africa. So you've got to be realistic here. You've got to be realistic. You get somebody on the phone, ask your damn questions then. I live in Mpumalanga. There's no way I can get to Cape Town. Can we schedule this for Joburg or for Pretoria? And can we do it in one trip? You got to ask them then. Nadine, you just in a bind here. You can send them emails, but they're not going to respond. If they respond, I'll pass out. Been approved for a resettlement for more than 2 weeks. My case shows travel in progress. Well, travel in progress is probably just a statement. It's the internet, guys. It depends on whoever designed the program. Travel in progress just means that you've been approved, and once you've completed your travel, then they'll say travel completed. So just hang in there. Elaine sent me an email today. I'll try to get to it. Yes, you should need to show them all relevant paperwork that includes divorce from the same person and remarrying them. What'll be interesting is when you get on a flight and meet some of the Wyatt Army. Yeah, well, a lot of people meet Wyatt Army at the refugee processing centers. There's a lot of that going on. Alan McGonigal just gave 70 Rand. Thank you, dear Colonel. You are awesome, and we appreciate you. Well, thank you so much for that, Alan. Thank you for the 70 Rand super chat. I appreciate that. After CWS and UCS interviews, you get the go-ahead to proceed for medicals. That's the normal sequence, KB. That's why I was questioning the letter about the medicals. Okay, marriage certificate shows all. Then you should be fine. That should be fine. If that's documentation that proves it, you should be fine, Francis. And there's another super chat coming in from Sigi, 35 Rand. Lily van der Plas in the chat. Where's Lily van der Plas? I don't see Lily van der Plas. Did she just pop in? Hello, Lily. People have been mentioning you in my chat several times. I understand you're doing videos about South Africa. Congratulations. And you're over here. But I haven't heard from you. Any confirmation that flights have resumed? No. Weird Animal Facts. We've covered that already in this broadcast. Thank you, Maze, for the 35 Rand super chat. Yeah, I've already mentioned that. There are no flights resuming. And as I said from the outset, my analysis, the moment the government announced it was going to shut down, is that it would take 7 days to 10 days, business days to 2 weeks before people resume flying. And so far, and Willem Wheeler, thank you, 35 Rand. So far, that's holding true. So hang in there. It'll start. Michelle says, my call was asked if I could attend an interview in Durban and was mentioned as venue choice. Happy with that. Yeah, no, Michelle, I told people that I expected after, gosh, the super chats are coming down left and right, small ones though, but thank you for the 14 rand super chat. Casework asked me which area I can go to. Well, that's what they should be doing. I told everybody in August that I anticipate by 1 October, they would do interviews in Cape Town as well, and they would want to probably expand to Durban and possibly Port Elizabeth. So we've gotten confirmation from several people. They claim that they're being interviewed or will be interviewed in Durban now. It didn't happen October 1st because the government was shut down. So here we are almost December, and we're getting to that. That will be sufficient. Okay, what else? Redbeard, great to hear. So many already have their assurances. And there's another, what's with the 400, Johan de Villiers, what's the 14 rand super chat flood we got going on? Thank you for that. Approved 26 September. I have a sponsor. Everything is done, but waiting for a psych report from autistic son. It's likely it will go by the end of the year. Okay, just chill. That's a lot of information you didn't have to share, but thanks for sharing it. Undercover refugee in Ethiopia. Most of the mods, admins give up many hours assisting people so they don't just make broad statements. Agreed, Chris Wyatt. Exactly. Moderators don't get paid. They spend a lot of their time trying to help people, and sometimes you get caught up in what's going on. That's why I didn't admonish Hendo for what people are complaining about, the use of words in the groups. So I've just asked him to stop doing it. That's all. That's all it should take. Durban would be awesome, says Freetha. Yeah, okay. Adol Volmans, must I fill in the new form for Amerikaners contacted me? They told me this 20th December, so I've asked this question. I'm not sure if the question is Amerikaners can interview. I've answered that question earlier. If I were in your shoes, what I would do. I haven't been telling people to do it, but I mean, a lot of people aren't getting responses back, so no harm, no foul. Colonel got the location 2 weeks ago. So do you think this year we'll be out of here? Well, Zandria, how can I answer that question? There are at least 2,000 people. It depends on what the government does. Let's just do the math, okay? Let's say they start on November 20th, okay? That means you've got 31 days in December, and you've got 10 days in November. That's 41 days. Let's go 40 days. 40 days times, say, 25 people per day. That's 1,000 people. Well, if you got it to location, what do you mean got location? I mean, what got what location? Where you're supposed to go? So if they don't pick up the pace, that means 1,000 more people would get out by the end of this calendar year. I don't know where you fall in that 1,000 people. Were you approved in August? Were you approved in September? Were you approved in October? Were you approved in November? If you're approved in November, you might not make it by the end of the year. It depends on if they pick up the pace. It's impossible to answer a question like that. That's the best I can do. 30 people per day for 30 days is 900. So it should be just over 2 months to get the backlog. Potentially. Not my yard. I'm going to request Central Pennsylvania. Call week after we do orientation. I really hope that we get flights this year, okay? My interview is done this week. Patients since March. Want to say everyone is working very hard. They are working very hard. Yep. And where is Lindy? I don't see the Lindy lady in here. Okay, I'm still behind here. Sang Van says, my son and I received our first calls. The Kenya interview was extremely patient and accommodating. Cool. Excellent. Congratulations on that. Lynette Fundikak, we've done teams October 20th, no further contact. We have to be concerned. No. First off, the government was shut down. Second, on November 4th, they changed the process again and made it more formalized. So I wouldn't panic. JJ gave, can you send you a must-hear song? Need to read between the lines with this song. Yeah, that's fine. I lasted a week in WhatsApp group and delete. There you go, Anton. I'm with you on that one. Left the Durban group because people were too much. Jessica Stratton. Thank you, Chris, because even friends of ours were contacted a month after I'd already done an interview directly with Embassy, and they were in contact groups. Yeah. Look, it's very random. Okay. That's why I left the group. The chats became more willing. I'm telling you, folks, stay out of the groups, because you have Ferrayas. You have Ferrayas in the groups who are intentionally distorting what's going on and lying to people, misleading you, distracting you. Stay out of the groups. Even the people that mean well oftentimes don't know what the hell they're talking about. Do you know how much time I've wasted of my life, my limited lifespan, wasted my life refuting garbage spread in WhatsApp groups? So much time. And I'm not talking about a broadcast. I'm talking about answering people's emails in their WhatsApp. It's insane. Silent Bob said, what would your estimation on average timeline for pre-interviews, medicals? There's no timeline. I mean, Silent Bob, we have people that sent in statements of interest on May 12th and were contacted this week for the first time. We have people that put in PRM emails that never got contacted. We have people that put in statements of interest in August and they've already been processed and come over. There is no timeline estimate here. I mean, if I give you a timeline, people are going to lie and say, the colonel said it takes this long. The colonel says it takes this long. Lily van der Plas WhatsApped you, Colonel. Never got a response for an interview. She WhatsApped me? When did she WhatsApp me? I have no one named van der Plas. Okay. Fun. Yeah. I have no WhatsApp from anyone named van der Plas. Unless she has some other strange name she's using on her email. I have no WhatsApp from I look for let me look for Lily again. Maybe that's there. Lily. L-I-E. I have no message from anyone named Lily van der Plas. All I have is people talking about her. So I don't know what you're talking about, man. Okay. But accept what is offered with gratitude. Okay. Thing is, it's not a problem to be patient. It's a problem to be patient if we don't know what's going on. I agree, Jonathan. I agree. And what have I said all along? What have I said from very outset? I would run this program very differently. We have a moral obligation not to leave people hanging out there in the wind. We need to tell them what's going on. Agreed. And that's been my biggest complaint with this program is the opaque nature of it. All it does is let cock prodders generate conspiracy theories and people freaking out and then jam up the whole system by sending endless emails to people who aren't going to read them, among other things. I await approval, but my passport expires next year. You've got plenty of time right now, Zuma CM. I would wait till next spring before I worry about it. Is Professor G here? Someone's thanking him. I didn't see Professor G in the chat. Is he here? Is Professor G here? I didn't see him. They seem so busy processing applications, they're filling gaps in meetings and medicals that the sequence is not according to what. Exactly, Chris Wanapole. That may be very well exactly what's going on. So maybe a provisional letter was sent out to Ronda Absalon and without a follow-up because, anyway, I don't know. We're going for our interview tomorrow, but still waiting for a destination. Well, that's just, okay. They didn't tell you what town you're going to, Eudora? You should know the town you're going to. Because you have to be there. It's like 7:30. What would really help is if we could track our progress. You can track and approve in real time, James, once you have a case. There's a portal. You get an account. You go on there. You can track your case in real time once you have a case. Until then, you're nobody. I don't mean to offend anybody, but you're nobody. Until you have a case, you're nobody. If you get a country code from Amerikaners, well, it'll be South Africa. They're based in South Africa. Can I request to do a medical at the same time? You can request. I hear you, Chantel, but I can't promise you anything. Art Queen Liza just gave $55. Oh, she upped the number there. Upped the game, 55. Or is that $5? Oh, it's $5. Thank you. Thank you, Art Queen. You may email me, please. I'll try to answer it. Yeah, I'm sure she didn't use that name. Well, I can't respond if I don't know. I mean, guys, I'm looking at my, this is insane. How many WhatsApps I've got here from people I know and people I don't know, but mostly people I know. Oh. Okay, and I've also got people trying to contact me, like former Springboks, trying to set up a meeting with me. Request, okay, please ask Hendo to stop sending WhatsApp links for area groups because those are the groups. Okay, I don't know if Hendo set those up or what, but I'll ask him. Oops, hang on, I'm catching up here. Okay, I'm getting close here. Is Professor G here? Because someone thanked him. I don't see him here. Rian Cronier, we are booked for this coming week. If I look on Delta Airlines but did not hear anything from RCS. Yeah, I don't know. They'll cancel that 5 days, normally 5 days in advance. If your flight's going to be canceled by the government, it's normally, for this program, it's going to be normally 5 days in advance. 5 calendar days, not business days, calendar days. So if you're scheduled to fly out on Friday this week and you haven't got a cancellation, then you still have a flight to my knowledge. I'm not sure, but I don't know what to tell you. That's how it works. Jonathan said, then tell us who we can write to that you please start writing the program, Colonel. Oh, I don't know who you write to. Don't know who you write to for that. Oh, there's Lily van der Plas. There she is. Okay, she 2 minutes ago. We'll WhatsApp you again, email you. Okay, Lily. All right. You have a U.S. number though, correct? Please send me a WhatsApp right now so that whatever username you've got, I can save it. You obviously have my number. Lily, please send me that right now. Get in your WhatsApp right now. Do it right now. Do it. This is a direct order from a colonel. Send me a WhatsApp right now so we can solve this mystery. All these people keep saying you want to come on my channel, and I'm like, I don't know her. I know she's got a channel. I haven't talked to her. I know her channel is doing very well. She get more views in some videos than I am, even though she has a handful of subscribers. So yeah, please send me that now, Lily. Okay, I like the name Lily. Lily van der Plas. Is that really your name, or are you just a farmer? Are you a border micey? I didn't ask that question. Is she a border micey? If she's a border micey, we got to sort this out. Toot sweet. Toot sweet. Right now. Sofort. Immediately. Using big words like opaque. Opaque means you can't see through it. Like when people on their background, on Zoom sessions, when they blur their background, that's opaque. You can see stuff behind them, but you can't make out what it is. That's opaque. You're hiding things. Deaf? Oh, that's terrible, freak. I didn't know you were deaf. So you must be, how are you following me? Are you just have poor hearing? Are you using seat count or closed captions? Hendo communicated with Lily 2 weeks ago, okay? Art Queen, Colonel, you may email me. Please do interview. Just FYI, we applied for March, only got our first interview 3 weeks back. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Vanitz. Matthias. Let's become a member. Buy a donkey. You didn't apply, Vaynant. To be clear, you expressed your interest in the program. If you did it in March, then you did a PRM email. So you'd be one of those people we hadn't heard back. Congratulations, you got an interview. Cool. There's the email address Hender's put up. Yes, they gave us a time and a town. Okay, but you don't know the physical location. Now, Eudora, I probably know the location, but I can't share that with you. My recommendation is to get to the town. You're probably going to get your email tonight. That has been the historical situation. A lot of people have contacted me and said, I didn't get notified. And my advice to them is go to the town. All right. If you never get the email, then go to the American Embassy and say, hey, listen, here's the email. I was told to be in this town on this date at 7:30. Go to the security guys, G4S. All right, about the refugee program. But they probably get inundated all the time. But my recommendation is be patient. Just go to the town. If it's Pretoria, if it's Cape Town, if it's Durban, if it's Joburg, go where you're supposed to go, okay? To the town. Hang out in a safe location. Okay? Not on what used to be Skuman. That's not safe. Apparently they do cash and transit heist on that road. But the McDonald's is still safe there. You go to the McDonald's in Skuman, hang out there. It's not called Skuman anymore. It's what's her name? Can't think right now. But anyway, hang out there, and then you'll probably get the email tonight telling you where the location of the venue is, okay? So don't hesitate to get where you need to go. So, like if you live in Mpumalanga and you're supposed to be in Pretoria tomorrow morning, you need to be in Pretoria tomorrow morning, all right? And then if they screw you over, just be patient and respectful and try to sort it out, okay? If you had intake teams and SF number, does that count as contact? If you have an SF number, you have a case. SF is the prefix for a refugee case. Yep. Poor but glad Lily has been found on the chat. Oh, Sigi, you gave the super chats. Thank you for the super chats. Appreciate that. Yes, she is a border micey. She's married. Oh, apparently that doesn't matter in some places. Oh, she is a border micey. There she is. There's Lily. Okay. Let me see if she sent me WhatsApp. Aha! She can follow directions. Aha! Gotcha. Okay, see, I would, okay, Lily, I would never have found you because everything I know about you doesn't correspond to how you just showed up in my, got it. Yay. All right, we got it. Okay. Look at that. But you sent me, okay, your WhatsApp cat, okay. She showed your apartment. Well, I'm not showing you my house. I show you my house, people are going to try to show up here. We don't need that. Lily, I'll chat with you after this stream. I got to finish editing my video, if that's okay. All right, just to touch base. The wait for approval is so frustrating, it worth it, says Bradley Prince. It sounds like somebody who got their letter. Our case link is broken for us. It only has the top part and hasn't been changed at all since the start. I don't know that it's broken. You might have an issue with your cache. Try it on a different device, to log in on a different device. Siobhan, Siobhan Bronkhorst, try logging in on a different device and see if the problem persists. You may have a simple cache problem. All right. James Lili Bormaisi Fundi Muy Noi. Okay. Please check for mail that I've sent you when you have time. Peter Liebenberg. Oh gosh, guys, 1,000 people asked me to check mail. Okay. Pauline, did I miss? You missed everything. You've missed it all. But here's the good news, Pauline. You can go back and watch from the beginning. It's all still there. I had to restart my internet crapped out, as did my power nearly 4 times. Fortunately, I have a ups. It doesn't last long, but it lasted long enough to keep the juice going in between. Yeah, Mad Max, I see it. Thank you. We got an email with a location a week before interviews. Yes, Reg, but that doesn't always happen. It doesn't always happen. I've had so many people, and in every case so far that I know of, where someone asked me about that, and I said, just get to the place you're supposed to go, the town. They did get the message that evening prior, before they had to go. But I mean, that's a bit late. I mean, if you live at Bite Bridge and you're supposed to be in Joburg tomorrow morning, you can't wait till tonight and find out, and then you're going to drive from Bite Bridge tonight. We're going to sleep in your car outside the venue. I mean, that's just crazy. So yeah, in every case where someone's told me that, they've eventually gotten an email. Every one of them, to my knowledge. If there's someone that I misspoke on, please send me a message. Tell me I got it wrong. Okay, you did ask, and you were given a standard response the Colonel would give you when people answer correctly. Don't be. What did Dave B say? It may have had 2 phone interviews and recently received an email giving me a principal applicant number. And okay, well, congratulations, Joanne. Oh, my tab just crashed. Oh, gosh bless it. Now the tabs are crashing. Come on. Okay. What we say in Indiana's like, it's great as long as you aren't like in Gary, Indiana. That's a suburb of Chicago. Yeah, Indiana's nice. It's Midwestern. Okay, what did Dave B say? I'm curious about that. Apparently he was being a dick. Was he being a dick? I didn't see that. Okay, I can't go back that far. Oh, it's top chat. That's why. Okay. I don't know what Dave B said, so I can't go back that far. So I guess I have to live with whatever he said. Frita says yes, you're respected and loved by all of us. Cry the ones who don't. Yeah, that's on them. Dave is apologizing to Sandy. Okay. All right, let's not get excited, folks, and start attacking each other in chat, okay? Our daughter lives in Charlotte. They will let us live with them until we get set up. That will be an option for us. We'll sort our accommodation, save U.S. funds. Vana, don't worry about saving the U.S. funds. Don't worry about that. I don't know where you're at in the process. If you're in the process and you get interviewed, you need to have things in your head or written down on a piece of paper that you need to ask. You need to ask when you get interviewed. All the questions like that. So if you're interested in a location, you can say, my daughter lives in Charlotte. Well, the next question is going to be, is she here on an H-2A visa? Is your daughter a permanent resident? Does she have a green card in America? Those are questions they're probably going to ask you. If she has a green card here, then they're going to facilitate, but they're going to contact your daughter. And if your daughter, Vainant, says, hell no, I don't want them here. I left South Africa to get away from my parents. They're oppressive. They're annoying. I hate them. Then you're not going to be with your daughter. But if your daughter says, no, I love my mom and dad. I've got space for them. We've got an 8-bedroom ranch here in Charlotte, North Carolina. We sell used cars and creams on the internet. Then they're going to say, okay, that's where you can go. Our status shows pre-screening pending now a month, as we have only done a take on teams. Should we complete? Johan, I think you can answer the question for yourself. I've said earlier what I would do. I've been watching videos of people going to garage sales, and that gave me tips on how to furnish my home when I get there. Oh, yeah, it's good. Yep. Oh, Christian Lowe. Thank you for your membership. Thank you very much. Wow, that's great, Venus. Okay. Well, Freetha, don't get too excited. It may not be great. We don't know the relationship that Venant has with his daughter. By the way, Vena, is she a Boromisi? You stay in Pretoria, got an interview in Joburg. Well, that's not a long trip. You can manage that. Boy. An email saying undercurrent status in progress. Is that positive situation? It should be, Joanne. It should be positive. Yep. Guys, I'm out. Baby is draining me. Leka slop. Take care, Nikki. Yes, I know board mice are feisty girls. Yes, I'm aware of that. Christian Lowe, thank you for the 35 Rand. Critical hit. I like that. It's your first super chat, too. Thank you for that. Pauline says, thank you, Chris. We'll watch tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Okay, thank you. Likewise. XX Serho. So if we get approval in November, we can get out this year. Okay, I cannot answer that question. You must have tuned in late. I have, and there's Christo's name and gave it 350 Rand super chat. Thank you for that, Christo. I cannot answer that question fully. I mean, I don't know the answers. I don't know the number. I'm giving you an estimation of how many people are backlogged, an estimation of how many people per day could come out of commercial flights, and all that could be upset. The U.S. could send C-17s to South Africa. Highly unlikely, but they could do that. They can also charter a flight from World Airways, not Global Airways, World Airways, and fly over 747 and fill it up with 350 people, 400 people. I don't know that you can get out. And I did note the number down, but it was not too well at the time, so I have mislaid. Oh, Maze, sorry. We got the email this evening before, and there's a super chat from Ebola Games, another 35 Rand. We got the email this evening before we decided to take a chance and at least go to Pretoria after the call. Thank goodness we did. Otherwise, we would have missed it. Okay, thank you. Jess, thank you. We got the email the evening before. We decided to take a chance, at least go to Pretoria after the call. Thank goodness we did. And that is the advice that I'm giving people. And my advice is spot on. Is it not, Jess? If you know the town you're supposed to go to, you don't get the email, go. If you never receive the email, now I know some people actually got the email the morning of, which is insane. But don't risk it. And there's Jeanette Nell. Became a member. Thank you for that, Jeanette. All right, so Knoxville, Memphis, or Nashville. Okay, all right. Jack Seller. Memphis. No way on God's green acre. It is the murder capital of America. Memphis is full of crime. It is a crime-laden den. No way. You're not getting me in Memphis. Not going to happen. Humid, brutal, Mississippi River. No, thank you. The only redeeming factor about Memphis is Graceland is there. But you can go visit Graceland. You don't need to live near Graceland. All right, Nashville. Nashville's got some problems, but it's a town with a lot of up-and-coming companies, got a lot of job opportunities, but you need to live in the right place in Nashville. Knoxville, yeah, Knoxville's great. It's in the eastern side of Tennessee. Knoxville had a World's Fair back in 1981, I think it was, or 80, something like that. Knoxville, yeah. If you're approved and a status refugee, are you under U.S. protection already? No, Mad Max. How can we extend protection to people who are refugees living in another country? You're not under U.S. protection until they take custody of you. Don't use you're using the term loosely, okay? You're not a criminal. Taking custody, they take responsibility. They take you to the airport, put you on the plane. Then you're the U.S. responsibility. Then you have protection. Then you get to America, you're safe here. But we can't protect you in South Africa. That's why we're granting refugee status. Have location, time, and date, but still waiting for the email. I'm in case I'm leaving tomorrow to be sure they'll be there in time. Okay, Cronier. Again, did you find accommodation? Because I have potential accommodation for you in Joburg. For you. I'm sorry. You're leaving tomorrow, so I'm sorry. I mean, I'd let people know that, but you just told people you're going. So I don't know if you found accommodation. You need to send me a note, Cronier. I don't know if I have you on WhatsApp, so I can put the person in touch who may be able to accommodate you, okay? All right, so you need to let me know that. That'll be the first thing I deal with when I'm done here. I'll look and see if I have the information and I can forward it, okay? All right? I've got your email, but I mean, email is not going to be a way to contact you when you're on the road. So, well, Beulah, we don't know that we're going to have an interview. Lily just wants to talk with me, and presumably we'll have an interview. RC send the cultural orientation invites in advance of date and time for it. I have no idea, Tony. That one I don't know. Foxy chick. Ooh, now you got my attention. Forget the border mice. Let's talk about the foxy chicks out there. That sounds like AI. I successfully created a questionnaire, but when I try to access it again, the link is invalid or expired. I'm not sure. That may be a server issue. Sounds like a server issue. Okay. Whoa, lots more chats coming in. I'm catching up here. And Antoinette Lowe. Thank you for your membership. A lot of lows coming in here. Okay, Christian Lowe, and that is Antoinette Lowe. 486 likes. Well, there's 495. Keep pushing it, folks. And we've got 574 people still here. I've been for my first 2 interviews, already just waiting for my medical. Okay, Daniel, cool. Chris says, hi, Chris. I had my team's interview beginning last month and received an email with my case number, but haven't heard anything since just to make sure. Do I fill in the new questionnaire? You've been interviewed. So in your case, they're saying don't contact them. if you've had an interview. I'm telling people just got an email, never heard from anybody. In your case, it says you have been interviewed. So, and you've already had your interview. Yeah. So in your case, if I were in your shoes, I would wait. I wouldn't panic yet. Yep. Keep this up, and I might have to make sure I'm single when I get there, says Jess. Hi, I'm a Boromisian. Yes, we are feisty. Ask my ex-husband. He didn't make it out of the hut. Got it. How is Iowa? Iowa's nice, Byron. It's sleep-inducing, boring, and it's brutal winters, but Iowa's nice. Yeah, there's some nice stuff in Iowa. I used to live in Iowa. Yeah, I'm the right person to ask about Iowa. It was kind of bland, very flat topography. Looks a lot like the Free State, but not as dry as the Free State. And no mountains. Got to run for now. Boys are sick. Oh, sorry to hear that, Lily. Just wanted to check in. We'll chat later, Colonel. Okay, cool. Okay, did anyone apply who has a stepchild and what they requested? Lots of people have applied with stepchildren. You have to have the adoption paperwork if you've adopted a child. If you haven't adopted a child, you're going to have a legal release from the other parent. The stepchild is not your legal child if the other parent hasn't granted custody or released them. So you're going to have to deal with that. That's what they'll ask for. Jeanette Nell, thank you for your membership. Okay. That sounds like, okay, can request a new link. There you go. Oh, that's right. Yeah, thank you, Jack. On the page, it says that. It says that. Where's that at? Hang on. Here you go. Here you go. So there you go. If you're having a problem, there you go. I'm sorry, I did know the answer. So you request a new link. You click on this blue right there. If you've already done it and you can't get in, then you come back and request a new link. Your link is timed out, okay? So you just come request a new link. It's as simple as that. Sorry, I misspoke. Thank you for sorting me out there. Who was it that did that? Somebody just said request a new link. You're right. Yeah, it was Jack Seller. Thank you, Jack. Go to the embassy website, follow the link. Yeah, and so Lana Banana also shared that. Thank you, your content. I don't put you thanking Lily on my channel for Dina. It's okay. You thank whoever you want. Okay. Okay. We tried multiple devices, no luck in my case. Well, go do the link again. Go request the link. Try that, okay? Try to request a link and maybe that'll refresh it, okay? Had sputum to do. That's strange. We're supposed to have, that must be for the tuberculosis. We were supposed to have our interviews on the 7th and 14th, but it was canceled. Kenya called us the day before and said they will call again for new dates. Okay, Chris, sorry to hear that. But you got to understand, they're working full bore. They're working full speed. They've got so many people, so much going on. They're doing so much. It takes an awful lot, guys. Hang in there. Okay? Sue Marie, thank you for the 40 Rand super chat. Clouds are gathering. True, people want everything handed to them a silver platter. Well, some people do, Renee. Okay, if you have a case number, then don't fill out the questions form. Yeah, you have a case number. Yep. Got no problem going to Florida. Well, you can have Florida. How is Houston? Well, it used to be the murder capital of America. It's unbelievably hot and humid, and it's got lots of problems. You can have Houston. It's a big oil center, though, if you're in the oil industry. Byron Nell just gave 70 Rand super chat. Thank you for that, Byron. Texas, Florida, Miami. Well, Miami's in Florida. Is this a safe place to having hospitals and jobs? Oh, Amanda, there are hospitals freaking everywhere. We did this the other day on my news program. We went through and I showed you hundreds of vacant nurse positions and clinics and hospitals for doctors and mostly for nurses, but tons of jobs. Anywhere you go in the country, you're going to find tons of jobs in the medical field. Don't worry about that. Crone just sent me a WhatsApp. Okay, good. I'll take care of that. I'll put you in touch with the person. In fact, let me do that right now. Okay, gotcha, Crone. Okay, got it, brother. Okay, hang on. I'll send it to the person that may be able to offer accommodation for you, okay? Okay, all right, so if that person's watching that might be able to offer, I've sent that person the message now. Crony, hopefully you'll hear from that person. They've got your number if they're able to help you. If they don't hear from you, if you don't hear from them, how is Utah to live in? Tanya Grief, please do not use all caps. It's attention-seeking. It's rude in internet protocol. It's been rude since the 1960s, and certainly people should have known it by now. But I'll answer your question. Utah's fantastic living. It's a lovely place, beautiful state. I was just there. Courtney McBride lives there. He lives in Salt Lake. It's a lovely place. Lots of great skiing, lots of great opportunity, a high-tech economy around Salt Lake City and in Ogden. It's a great place. You're welcome, Courtney. Hope it works out for you. Got my first call on Tuesday, November 11th. I'm so happy. Let the waiting game begin. Okay, Sandy, that's good. Sandy, it's good news. Are you still going to make us a video of how to take your money? Well, in fact, I've talked a little bit about it, Sparks Electrical. I've already talked a little bit about it, and there was news about that today. So I have to amend what I was talking about because the news story talked about the new regulations that came into effect from SARS and the SARB, the Reserve Board, that impact on that. It limits what you can do. So, yeah, I have to amend what I was doing. But, yeah, still working on it, but the information I have isn't quite enough to do it. So, yep. Charleston, Dallas, Salt Lake, or Atlanta. Charleston, no. Dallas, no. Atlanta, no. Salt Lake City, easy. Easy, easy. Matthias, 100 Rand super chat. Thank you for that. That's an easy peasy. Salt Lake City. Yep. Good night, Veroshka. I didn't even know you were here. Okay. And then lots of people know in South Africa not interested in this program. Probably more than those interested. Numbers are very distorted. For all we know, everyone might be out of here by 2027. Okay. Am I actually caught up on the chat? Just want to check the form again to see if any status change still says complete, which, okay. Well, I didn't know you could go back and keep checking up, but cool. Sorry, I'm aboard Tani. No more Boromisi. Hey, Marty, okay. See the second last WhatsApp later for a good laugh, okay. Nota Bloy turned up at Bry House in Cape Town and causing up. Really? What is he doing now? Nota Bloy. Okay, I don't even see stuff from you, Max. It's Mad Max. Yeah, where's Mad Max at? Next to the last one. Note that Beloy refused to be treated like a K-word during his holiday at Bryhouse, Kapstadt. His dad pleaded with him to stop being melodramatic. If you guys are used to being treated like this, it's fine. Be treated like that, not me. Okay, let's see what he says.
I have not done anything wrong. I have not done anything different. You understand what I'm saying? I haven't done anything different. So if you guys are being used to treat it like...
So it's a black guy standing next to him. Is that the one that's treating him so poorly?
Kaffers. It's fine. Be treated...
Oh my goodness, that word is blocked on my channel. How did that get in?
Like kaffers. I'm not used to being treated...
Wow, that guy's got a mouth on him. Yeah, we're not going to use that. I mean, it's not a cuss word. It's not a cuss word. It means unbeliever. It's Arabic. But anyway, I didn't say it. Sadly, still waiting for my contact, but I'm patiently waiting. Maybe I should get mail. Iceman ZA, if you've never been contacted and you haven't filled out the intake questionnaire, you will never be contacted. That's what the embassy website says. Please go follow the instructions. Done with medical's interview. Hope you well, congratulations. Tanya says, sorry, no glasses. That's okay, Tanya. No worries. Oh, that's why you did all caps. That's why you did all caps. Okay. All right. Well, Tanya, we can make an exception if we know. Okay. Do you not have glasses and you need them, or you just didn't have them handy? Okay. Anna Marie Nell is here. Must be no Formula One going on today. Yeah, I haven't heard that word in a long time. Yep. Haven't seen the new limitations, but wouldn't be surprised if ANC are doing it to prevent too much money from leaving the country. Yeah, no, they are, because money is... See, folks, what's not being talked about is that people are leaving South Africa in droves. In droves. They're abandoning the country left and right. They're gone. They're like, why have it only been an hour? Oh, it's because of the second one. I'm like, how long have I only been an hour and 27 minutes? Well, it's because we restarted this broadcast. I forgot about that. All right, so, yeah, 82 people per day on average abandon South Africa. 82 people per day. Now, there's probably more people than that abandon America every day. I mean, we got 330 million people. It's probably about 1,000 people leave this country every day with plans to stay abroad. Yep. Dean Nell just gave gift membership, and let's see who gets it. Yep. I've not heard word in years. Took me by surprise. That took me by surprise. You notice I stopped it when I heard him. He kept running his mouth about it. If I'm going to use that video, I'm going to have to bleep that out because I don't like that word. Nadine, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate that. And that's a courtesy of Don Nell. Thank you, Don. It's very kind of you to do that. Yeah, over 500,000 South Africans in the UK alone. Don't forget New Zealand, which has tens of thousands. Australia, which has tens and tens and tens of thousands. Canada, which has tens of thousands. Germany, France, Japan have tens of thousands too. Yep. Sparks says, we took your advice and followed you from the start, and you've always been spot on. Thank you, Sparks Electrical. I really appreciate the endorsement and the thank you. You're very welcome. Good night, Iceman. Have a fantastic day. You too. Mandy says, have a good afternoon. Okay, I've taken care of the issue for Cronier. All right. Hopefully that gets resolved in his favor. I will contact Lily, but she's putting the boys to bed, so I'll send her a text and see when we can talk. Huge tax base. Yeah, huge tax base. Been leaving for a long time. It's been going on forever. There's millions of South Africans living abroad, not making money in South Africa. That's why SARS and the South African Revenue Board are trying to pull the money back. Yep. You're very welcome, Anthea. With the G20 and the interviews happening this week, Joe Berg, will it be maybe have an effect? No. First off, the G20 is not in Sandton. It's in Nasrec, which is located down near Soweto. So it's on the southwest corner. That's where Nasrec is located at. So that's not even anywhere near where the consulate is or where any venue would be. The U.S. Embassy would not do anything in Soweto for this program. They can't secure it. Soweto's not bad. There's a nice place in Soweto, but no, it's too far away. So it will have zero impact on this, to my knowledge. Zero impact. Pat's here. So many people are leaving. South Africa is trying so hard to cover it up. They even have the media push this false people rushing to leave EU, come back to South Africa. Yeah, it was like 10 people, right? Exactly. If we get the green light, we'll be allowed to purchase our own flight. No, Vaynit. I'm not sure if you can offer to pay for it. You can ask them. That's a question you should ask them if you got the resources. Well, but even if they give you okay, so Vaynit, if they give you the interest-free loan, and they say that's how you have to do it, just come to America and then pay it back immediately. You'll have the money, just pay it back. Problem solved. Simple case, simple as that. Well, the UFN, NGO, those aren't case numbers. SF is a case number. I don't know what UFN and NGO are. I tried to research that and I can't find it. SF is a case number, Kyle. I don't know what those other things are. Just confirm if you have a in progress status, you don't need to do the intake. Well, yes, that means you have a case. You shouldn't be doing it, according to the embassy website. Okay. What do you think of Indiana? I was just asked that question a few minutes, Sharita. I think Indiana's fine. It's kind of boring, kind of flat, boring. Just don't go to Gary, Indiana. But yeah, Indiana's fine. I've been to Indiana many times. Just usually a good place for me to take a nap. It's sleep-inducing. Do you have stress not hearing back from a phone call to make sure information is correct? I don't understand your question, Donnie Foster. What do you mean? Did you give bad information to them? I don't understand. Listen, but I blame it on I'm not perfect, therefore sometimes I do hear but don't listen. Does anyone remember the monkey debacle? No, I don't. Virtual Western Cape estimates 45,000 applications. Well, that's interesting. I don't have any basis for that high. According to a couple of viewers, they are doing Durban interviews this coming week. I haven't confirmed that with anyone officially or anyone that's done one there yet. Went from 25% to just over 7% in South Africa. Oh, you mean the population? You're talking about white folks. Yeah, white folks were never 25% of the population since census has been performed. The first census was in 1911, and white folks were 20% of the population in South Africa, just over 1 million people. 20% in 1911, the first census ever done. The rest are just estimates. There was no census prior to that, to my knowledge, nationwide, because there was no South Africa until 1910. So I stand by that. Thank you for everything you do, says Joanne Demblin. You're welcome. Where is the best place to stay? Idaho, Montana, or Wyoming? It's not Wyoming. It's not Wyoming. It depends what your interests are. All of them are high state, mountain states. Not all of Montana is mountain state. Much of Montana is in the plains, but the rest is in the mountains. Western Montana is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Eastern Montana is flat, looks a lot like South Dakota. Idaho has a lot of flat desert places. We got some lovely places. Some folks doing very well in Idaho. And Coeur d'Alene's gorgeous, but I like Idaho. And then Wyoming is amazing, but it's thinly populated, and the weather in all three of the states is brutal in the wintertime. Can one buy a house to get money out legally and also have somewhere to go when landing USA? Well, it doesn't really work that way, Rikus. You can buy a house, but that doesn't mean that's where you're going to go. If you already have a house in the U.S. and you apply to the program, you say, I own a house there, I pay taxes on it, can I go there? Then that's something. But, I mean, you're making it sound like an immigration program. It's not immigration. It doesn't work that way. RC advised us, no, you can only pay back once you're there. Yeah, Mad Max, that's what I said. You just, I don't know that you can pay that. You just have to let them book the flight for you and then just pay it back. That's what I just said, Mad Max. Just said that. I don't know about it building your credit record because I don't know that it's tied to your Social Security number because you won't have a Social Security number. So maybe it gets tied to your Social Security number once you have it. I don't know. It's an interest-free loan. I mean, if you have resources, money, Just the smart money is just, I mean, that's a loan you don't have to apply for. You don't have to have credit history to get the flight loan. Let them give you a loan, no interest. You have the money in the bank, just pay it back. The money they get back is worth less than you borrowed. And you build a credit rating if you have Social Security number tied to it. Yep. Good night, Pearl. Do you think they will prioritize those who were approved before 30 September, at least those? Just chill. I would think that the people who are already approved would be the people who go first because they have to reschedule them. That's the first task they have. Yes, if you want to call it prioritization, yes, I do think that. David Wilson says, I'll sleep a little better tonight. I've been stressing. Well, you guys, what is there to stress about? You have no control over this process. All you can do is comply with what's asked of you, share with what they ask you, answer the questions as honestly as you can, and then take it as it comes. That's all you can do. Stressing is not going to help. That's easy for me to say. Power is still off. And yeah, exactly. Okay. They phoned to ask some questions about myself, my wife, my daughter, and our persecution claim. My wife was phoned as well, and after that, we haven't gotten an email or anything yet. Well, Donnie, that's not very useful information to me. I don't know who they is. Is it RSC? Is it American staff? Is it the Amerikaners? When did this happen? How long was it after you did your interviews? Did you do interviews in person? I mean, Donnie, that doesn't really help me at all. I really can't even analyze that. There's so much missing information there that I can't even give you a comment on. Nevada's nice. Yeah, Vegas is pretty cool. Indiana's where Captain Janeway. I didn't know that. Okay. Stay out of my basement. Like you said, Colonel, they also advise the most important thing is to pay your house rent too. Yeah, pay your house rent, pay your utilities. Don't miss them. Don't be late with your payments. Yeah, that's why when I thought I wasn't going to get paid as a military retiree from my retirement check from the Army, I didn't think I was going to get paid on October 1st and November 1st. I paid my mortgage in advance, but then I planned for this. I set aside money to pay for my mortgage for several months in case I didn't have a check coming in, and for my utilities so that I wouldn't damage my credit rating. It's that important. The main reason why people ask about paying for their own tickets is to ensure they fly sooner. That has no impact on you. You can't fly sooner. I see that. Okay, thank you for that. Anyway, that's nice insight. Nice insight. I assume it's because they had the money. But you see, this is what the hidden question underneath. Anime Fury has just brought up the hidden question underneath. And I'm not accusing the gentleman of having that. But it does beg the question, are people thinking they can pay for the flight so they can just go when they want? No. 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 You go when the embassy tells you to go. Until then, you're not a refugee. Until they process you and take you to the airport and put your bum on a plane, you are not a refugee. You are not going anywhere. You can't just get on a plane, here's my case number, and land. It doesn't work like that. You will piss a lot of people off and jeopardize your status if you try that. Absolutely. You cannot do that. Anyway, I didn't think about that because I'm just too honest. Okay, not that it's dishonest, but no. No. You can't jump the queue by paying for things. You can't jump the queue because you're rich. This program doesn't benefit and profit the rich. Now, I'm not accusing the gentleman to ask a question of that, but this question does come up periodically, and there is obviously something below the surface that Anime Fury hit on it, and I didn't even think about that. Good point, Anime. Good point. Okay. If people have to drive for interviews far, we have space for one couple. If a child, I don't mind sleeping on the couch. Louis Harhoff, okay, thank you. That's very kind of you, but that also doesn't answer the question. You need to send me a WhatsApp if you've got my contact there, or an email indicating that information, because I need to know where. People are going to Cape Town, they're going to Joburg, they're going to Pretoria for that. So, I mean, if you live in Pretoria and they have an interview in Cape Town, offering them accommodation isn't going to help. So thank you, very generous of you, Louis, to offer that, but send me a message, okay, so that I have that, okay? Some of you have already sent me messages. I was trying to track this, but I was doing a very poor job because I thought we took care of everybody before. What is Ananda talking about? Statement interest in 12 million Amerikaners. Questionnaire. Got my ID number for Amerikaners October 8th and never been contacted since October 8th. Well, yeah, you have to be waiting patient there, Stephen. But you have been interviewed. You haven't been interviewed, right? So. shocked to hear the G20s be held at NASREC when there are safer and better venues. Well, it's at NASREC. That's what they're saying. Let me just confirm that that's still the case. G20s is the G20 at NASREC. Yeah. The G20 Leaders Summit is scheduled to take place at the Johannesburg Expo Center, NASREC, from the 22nd, 23rd. Yeah. Yep. That's what I said. NASREC. Well, I'm shocked it's there too. He wants to complete the form, but he doesn't know his parents. What? My brother-in-law wants to complete the form, but he doesn't know his parents. How must he fill in the form? Oh, he doesn't know his parents. He doesn't know who either his parents are? He wasn't adopted? He doesn't have an adopted parent? I don't know. I guess the answer is you put unknown. You put unknown. I want to apply for this program. I just want to immigrate. Well, assimilation is easy, Cameron. Immigration is hard. Immigration is hard. Ireland doesn't want you. New Zealand doesn't want you. Australia doesn't want you. The UK doesn't want you. And the US will let you in as a refugee if you qualify, but immigrating here is not so easy unless you're richy rich. Assimilation is easy. If you want to assimilate America, it's very easy. Why do people ask the question about whether... I don't know. People ask me all kinds of questions. Yeah, they can't clear the route to the Stanton Convention Center. The orientation coach said first in, first out, there's a queue, wait your turn. Well, Amanda, if that's true, that'd be lovely, but we don't know that that's true because we know a lot of people who put in statements of interest on the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th of May who have not been contacted, yet there's other people who put in their statement of interest in August who are already in America. So I don't buy the first in, first out queue. No, they don't know what the hell they're doing. They've screwed this program up in so many ways. I don't buy that. Your coach may be saying that. That may be what the plan is going forward, but that sure as hell hasn't been the plan from the beginning. Also, the 59ers. There were supposed to be more people, so obviously it wasn't first in, first out. They interviewed more people than that. They interviewed over 100 people, and only 59 came over. I can account for 2, making 61 who didn't have passports who should have been with that cohort. But what about the other 39? Why didn't they come? First in, first out. To repay your travel loans will be your advantage accounts, your credit, as long as you have it tied to your Social Security number. If you don't have a Social Security number, it doesn't account for anything. Dogzilla says folks should consider Washington, Oregon, Northern California, but west of the mountains, it's God's country. Washington State has brutally high taxes. It's run by leftists, and it's full of evil hate wankers in places like Seattle and Bellington, places like that. But it's beautiful in the Cascades, and Spokane is a lovely place out in the high desert chaparral to the far east of Washington State. The traffic is brutal on the Interstate 5. It is a parking lot most of the time. It's horrific, and that was 30 years ago. Today it's even worse. Oregon, beautiful countryside run by a bunch of leftist hate wankers. Taxation is here and there. It's not as bad as Washington. Northern California is absolutely gorgeous, but it's in California. That is the major drawback. A country that allows children to run away from home and then allows the state to keep them from their parents illegally, immorally. A state that has decriminalized intentionally infecting someone with HIV. It was a felony in California until morons in that stupid state of leftist hate wankers decided that infecting someone with HIV, well, that's just a misdemeanor because it's just a chronic disease. You shorten someone's lifespan, you force them to take antiretrovirals, which are poison, but they keep you alive because you stuck your willy in some lady and didn't tell her you had HIV. That's no longer a felony in California. It's a sick, twisted state run by perverse people. I wouldn't live in California again, no matter what. They pay me $3 million a year. I probably still wouldn't live in California. No. Beautiful place to visit for a few minutes. I would never live there again. I've lived there twice. I asked the same question about the flights a few days ago, and it's simply I don't like owing people money. I think people would presume they can fly anywhere. I don't know, MJ. Maybe they do presume they can fly whenever. But okay, so here's the bottom line. I don't like owing people money either. But let me tell you something. and also pay all my debts. That's why this veterans organization thing is such a frustration for me. You know, no money and people stealing from it. We can't prove it and yada, 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 and barely able to pay bills, yada, yada. That's not me. That's not my life. I've paid my bills my entire life since I was 18 years of age. So if you don't want to have the International Migration Organization fund your travel, then you're not coming. Then you don't want to be a refugee. It's just a condition. You have to live by the conditions. If you don't like that, you can pay it off, but that's a foolish move. If you have a Social Security number and it's tied to that, let it build your credit rating, showing you paying off each and every time on time. Yep. Had our calls with CWS on WhatsApp 3 days after filling out the questionnaire. Okay, I'm anonymous. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, guys, I don't know. Just see a few videos posted. Black people say tomorrow they're going to shut down the country, but as usual, I doubt anything will come. Well, I don't know who these black people are. I'm sure it's not 43 million black South Africans. Conservative people here in Washington State, further up north from Seattle, and there's a big Dutch community here. Yeah, no, that's true, but that's close to the Canadian border. You risk becoming infected with Canadian wokeism. But the upshot is you can go to Vancouver, which is a nice place to visit, or Victoria Island. My current status is in progress. I have 2 phone interviews. Yeah, it should be positive, Joanne. Should be. Can you join the military as a refugee? Yes and no, Sparks. You can't join the military as a refugee when you arrive because they changed the conditions. You now have to have a permanent green card. You have to be a permanent resident. That was because illegals were apparently enrolling in the military. So you must have a permanent residency, the last time I checked, and so you have to apply for that within 1 year. So within a year of arriving, if you're physically fit and you meet the conditions, then you have a green card, you'll be able to apply for the U.S. military, which will put you on an advanced track. In just 3 years of honorable service in the U.S. military, you can apply for citizenship, whereas as a refugee, you have to wait 5 years. Okay? Did Lewis already send me that information? Yeah, there you go. Mays just gave it. You can send me an email with all caps in the description line, in the title. You can do that. All right, that's fine. That's not chat. That's okay. So, Lewis, if you already sent it to me and I never saw your email, my apologies for that. I think that's what's going on here. Because I didn't see the other comment. Mr. Magoo, thanks for the channel. Your thoughts on the possibility of second shutdown in January. Very strong. Very strong. Possible effect on movement. Seems interviewing is being ramped up. Interviewing was ramped up a long time ago. They're interviewing thousands of people now. Thousands of people. But yeah, it can shut down. Can you upgrade to Economy Plus or Business or whatever? No, you can't, Dogzilla. You get the seat you get. Would it help my case if I work for Chrysler? No, won't affect your case. Won't help you at all. It doesn't help you if you have family in the States. It doesn't help you if you had a green card in the States. It doesn't help you have a Social Security card. It doesn't help you if you served. It doesn't help you at all. It's not. See, stop. That's a question about immigration. This isn't about immigration. Oh, wait, Cameron, you're asking about immigration, right? Sorry. You weren't interested in the refugee program. You're interested in. I remember now. You're interested in immigration. Okay, hang on. Let me reread your question. Work for Chrysler at the winter plant in Indiana way back in 2003. Wasn't a work visa. Yes, that could help your case, Cameron. That could help your case. Looking for a visa to come over here, it could very well help your case. You've see, the thing is that when you go into and out of a country that has visa restrictions and you adhere to them, that's in your favor. That's in your favor. So that shows that you're a reliable person. You can be trusted to adhere to the rules and laws. Yeah, so in your case, Cameron, because you don't want refugee, that could help you. Yes, you're right. I asked the same question. Okay. Articulate my persecution adequately being offered. What? That's in reference of being different to, I don't know what they're saying, or unable to get a job related. Well, Karen, that's very simple. Do you have actual skills? Let me give you an example. So I am suffering from unjust racial persecution. And how is that, ma'am? Well, I have a bachelor's degree in accounting. I have a master's degree in economics. I was number one in my class at UCT. I graduated this year. I worked for this many years for this job, and I received these awards and this awards and this. And my income was at this level. I was replaced by someone of a different skin pigmentation at this date, and that person later fired me. And I've been able to get employment since then, after I filed a complaint against that person. See? Persecution. if you're the best qualified candidate and you've applied for 17 different jobs at 17 different accounting firms and you can't get hired, and there's no record of you being a criminal or defrauding somebody or failing in your job, obviously there's something else in play here. That's persecution. I missed what Olga said. I saw Olga there and it disappeared. Anyone that is booked for this week to fly out, do you get comfort? No one's booked for this flight, Endek. No one's leaving this week. No one is leaving this week, to my knowledge. To my knowledge. You're asking, do you get confirmation if your previous flight was canceled? Well, if your previous flight was canceled, you already know that, right? And as far as pitching up the airport, I don't know the answer on that one. That's something we got to get an answer on. Am I disconnected again? What's going on here? Am I talking to myself now? Is it YouTube? Looks like I'm disconnected. I'll refresh the page. Well, no, it's not working. Maybe it's just the tab on YouTube. Might just be that. Let me try to refresh. Now, here we go. Okay, we're back now. We still there? Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, it was spinning on my side. And I don't know the answer to the question. We have to get an answer on that. It's something they should have told you about. No interviews yet. Still waiting for an interview. Just the phone calls from CWS. Care about conservative values. Why do you always say things just to try to create issues? Because he's an evil person. The upgrade to Economy Plus is not much to pay, and legroom's a lot better. That's not true. You can get a flight on Delta for $1,200 for cramped economy, and for extra legroom, it's $2,000. That's a lot of money. $800. How come some are having some interview? Because there's different types of interviews. That's why. That's why. Most people are contacted by phone initially. They're calling it an interview, but it's often not an interview. It's just a contact. That's what it is. Or if recruiters don't even bother to respond, you can throw your resume away. But you don't have any proof that they threw your resume away, okay? So if you know for a fact you got someone that's unqualified, that's been picked for a job, and you weren't, especially if it's an important position where it's announced, you can show them who got hired and you didn't. Some of us go for a walk exactly for that reason. Interest and awareness. No idea what you're talking about. Green Leaves, welcome to you. What time is CNN documentary? Well, it's supposed to be, I think, 8 p.m. tonight. Let me see. CNN documentary. CNN. What time is this? Should tell me from CNN. That's not helpful. CNN press room. Let's see. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sunday, 8 p.m. Anderson Cooper. It's also available on CNN podcast, cnn.com/audio. Will stream for pay TV subscribers via CNN, CNN Connected TV, and mobile apps. So anyway, so it's tonight, 8 p.m. So that's why I got to finish my video about it when I'm done here. All right, so where are we at there? Okay, this is back over here now. Okay, whoops, that's not what I want. Cancel. Want that there. Okay, cool. Air traffic control, difficult to get into? Yeah, you need training. You have to be qualified for air traffic control. If you're already in air traffic control in South Africa, that will expedite things, but you have to be licensed for it. Lily says she knows of new arrivals for this week. I don't know of any new arrivals for this week. No confirmation of anybody coming this week. I'd be surprised if anyone comes this week. People may say they have flights this week, but we're not aware of anyone arriving this week. Mad Max says, confirm 2 of my guests that were here say they're flying this week. Have they flown yet? Have they flown yet? And remember, I did caveat what I said about when people fly, that out of an abundance of caution, they were booking flights so that when the thing lifted, they could fly as soon as it happened. But I can tell you from the U.S. government that, to my knowledge, there's no plans for anybody flying yet. So maybe that's changed over the past 3 days, maybe. And they may have already had flights booked and they didn't know about what's happening behind the scenes. But I can tell you behind the scenes, things weren't quite ready for them to fly again. So they booked things in advance, like the 19th of November. I know some people were scheduled for the 19th of November. They booked that well in advance, and they didn't tell anybody anything, and it wasn't taken care of. And maybe in the last 3 days, it has been sorted. So we'll see. 8th was canceled. If we go to Delta, see a date, Delta confirms flight, but no contact. So it's not a problem, Endek. It's no problem. I'm happy to answer the question. For the immigrants, 800 is nothing. Immigrants? For refugees. $800 is a lot of money. $800 is a lot of money to me. I don't know what planet you live on. $800 is a lot of money to me as a retired colonel. Art Queen, thank you for the $5 super chat. Oh, there's Hendo. OCA consulate flag in Joburg was half-mast because our vice president died. Dick Cheney died. It'll stay down. It should go up probably next week. That's why the flag was half-mast, because Dick Cheney died. Oh, please hit the like, Olga. I missed all your chat until then. Crab season is done. What's the Sunday lunch menu? Nothing. No bunny chow. I'm not going to watch Cooper. I'm going to watch it so I know what's said. It's okay, Anonymous. We're just nervous and really want to leave the hell right now. I got you. Ask your question. That's why we're here. Even if I've answered it 1,000 times, ask your question. UCIS officer that did our interview was such a nice guy. He had so much compassion. It's unbelievable. Treat us with the utmost respect and kindness. That's awesome to hear, Sparks. I'll watch the show on CNN and see what they're... Yeah, no, I'm with you, Dogzilla. I'll watch it out of curiosity. Yep. But I won't appear in it, to my knowledge. That's fine with me. No formal certificates in-house. Okay. Can you tell me what the DUM, Director of Information Management, function is? A DUM? A DUM is a military function. The Director of Information Management are the people that run the internet and communications for military bases. Why? That's an unusual question to ask me. The Director of Information Management. Yeah. So the DUM, back in the early 1990s, when I needed an email address, an account to get into the network that we had in the military when I was in Germany, you contact the DUM. They assign you an email address. They're the ones that set up your account and manage your email. And they also handle the internet communications, the telephone communications. They're responsible for information management. That's what they do. Why did you think it was something evil? No, it's rather innocuous. It's just your system ad. It's just your sysad is what it is. It's your community sysad for a military base. Okay, Bonnie, catch you later. Okay, Strauss. And then Bernadette Naidu, hey, looking for the family-friendly state and affordable cost of living, which is better state, Indiana or Minnesota? I'd take Indiana over Minnesota, although Minnesota is more attractive and beautiful. If you want your kids to be leftist, pink-haired, nose-pierced, LGBTQ plus, we hate America crowd, then go to Minnesota. If you want your kids to be wholesome, go to Indiana. Interview on CNN shows 3 o'clock. Yeah, that would be right. 7 hours. 7 hours. Yes, Dogzilla, you are correct about that. When you get to the airport, just like taking excess baggage, when you get to the airport, or maybe some of them you can book excess baggage in advance, possibly, with your ticket number. When you get there, you can ask for an upgrade. Yeah, you can do that if you've got the resources. Absolutely. Yeah, that would be reasonable. Good advice, Dogzilla. You're spot on. Boy, you're in a good mood today. What's going on there? Will you get people in trouble with bad advice? Stop your nonsense. No, actually, he does have a lot of bad stuff, but that's actually correct. You can ask at the airport. If you got the resources, you can always ask to upgrade your flight with the airline. Okay? My daughter and son-in-law have applied. Daughter's mom lives in Florida. Can they stay there? Casey, this has been answered several times in this program. You must have tuned in late. You can ask anything, but you need to give them the information. Then they'll contact those people and ask them if they want you there. Okay? And then maybe not. Okay, good luck, Liz, tomorrow. Maze, don't worry about others in the flight, okay? If you have the resources to upgrade your flight, if they let you do that at the airport, then do it. I mean, you know, I, for years, flew in economy with my legs jammed in my knees, and now I can barely walk because of my hip. That might have contributed to it when I could have gotten a better seat. Thank you so much for all you do. As a woman alone, I follow your advice. Well, thank you, Chantel Duprier. Sorry that you're alone. I don't know the circumstances. Are you wondering why they called? The Doom called you? The Doom called you, Holden? That's interesting. Sparks Electrical, my dude was a bit of an ass, says Sigi, but they had to squeeze me in because they sent me to an appointment via email after Pretoria confirmed interview call. All right. Notice the place you have your medicals might require you for ID photos. You should always have ID on you. South Africa is required. May says all is well. Don't think you see as a company you would like you changing your flight ticket and upgrading different seat. I don't know. I'm not there. Maybe I'll go hang out at the airport when refugees are getting on board and talk to them, find out when I'm in South Africa next time, and then ask them the question. So, considering everything you know about South Africa, you say, what would you have done if you were a Southern citizen? Loretta, that's an impossible question for me to answer because, I mean, am I a South African citizen with hundreds of millions of dollars at my disposal living in the Western Cape where I can leave my windows open at night and I can hang out with Cyril Ramaphosa? Then I would stay. If I'm a person living as a farm laborer on a farm in Northwest that I don't own and the farm has been attacked 3 times, the previous farm owner was murdered, and I would probably want to do something different. If I could not move up in my place of employment because of racial discrimination, I wouldn't want to be there. So, I mean, it's hard for me to answer those questions. I mean, you'd have to give me very specific circumstances. And you can't just say, as an American, as South African, you know. I mean, as an American, I wouldn't mind living in South Africa. It wasn't so damn dangerous, you know. I mean, I like Somerset West. I like Gordons Bay. I love Pretoria. You know, these are places I wouldn't mind living if it wasn't such a pain in the rectum. Yeah, stay off the WhatsApp groups. The real reason crab season, dungeon snow crabs and such are just now coming into season here. Well, that's a matter of perspective, Dogzilla. Maryland blue crabs are the tastiest of all the crabs. They're fantastic. Snow crab is nice. Dungeness crab tastes like crap. Couldn't eat that couldn't eat that to save my life. But snow crab is very tasty. But they never give you the snow crab. They just give you the snow crab legs. The meat they save for the rich people. Everyone who filled in a new questionnaire and submitted successfully got reflected in the dashboard. Maybe that's something for the dashboard. Might be a reference number for the dashboard, not a case number. Anyway, it's not. It's right. It's not a case number. It may be something, a reference number for their dashboard. Anyway, it's not a USCIS case number that we know of. The only people clearly unhappy about us was the African nurse and securities at the IOM Health Assessment Center. They were so rude to a few of us that was there. Well, that's a shame to hear, Sparks. It's a shame I wasn't there because I would have jacked them up. They're there to provide a service, and attitude is not service. We don't pay anyone for attitude. Anyway, folks, should I go to Mickey D's and get some McDonald's today and pollute my system with McDonald's? 444 people still here. We're approaching 4,000 people on the second stream. You know, we had to restart the stream because my power, it was like being in South Africa, the power hiccuped several times. My internet went out and it came back. It was not YouTube. Just to be clear, folks, it was not YouTube. YouTube had nothing to do with it. By the way, we've pushed over 600. Oh, that we lost 2. 114,599. 2 people left. What is that, YouTube? Are you playing games again? Anyway. So my video on South Africa getting improved credit ratings hasn't done anything because I didn't promote it. That's amazing when I don't promote it. No, it doesn't go anywhere because YouTube doesn't promote it. That's funny. Anyway. But the video I'm about to produce, it'll come out shortly. I think that one will do well because Ronnie Lamola calls Donald Trump a white supremacist. Yep. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, we're doing better, but we started to slip down again the last day or so. Still, anyway, we'll see what we can't do to get some more views up on the channel. Anyway, guys. All right. So thank you all for being here. Apologies for the restart to the stream, but thank you all for joining me and coming back again. I really do appreciate that. It's pretty awesome. But we were on the other one for, I don't know, how long were we on that before we got cut off? Let's see. We were on that stream for, I was right in the middle of something too. That stream was 12 minutes when we got cut off. And then we've been at this now for 2 hours and 3 minutes. So, wow, it's a long stream. I didn't plan on going that long today. Anyway. You would not be asking the program to upgrade. You ask the airline. Exactly. It has nothing to do with the program. Thank you. Dogzilla, you're correct about that. It has nothing to do with the program. You're simply asking if you can upgrade your seat on the flight. That's very different. It's just like going to it's no different than going to the airline with extra bags and saying, can I ship extra bags? Well, yeah, $400 per bag. Feel free. No, I don't know what they're charging now. But they were, a couple years ago, we're going to charge me $500 for a third bag. $500 for a third bag. I'm like, you people are crazy. And I'm like, but I upgrade to business. I use my miles and I upgrade to business class. Turned out I upgraded to business only from Frankfurt back. That sucked. Anyway. Thanks for yet another great show. You're welcome, JP. You're welcome, Cronier. Okay. All right. Please see Andrew's question. I don't see any Andrew in the chat. Who is Andrew? And where is his question? Olga's going for interviews Tuesday. I see no Andrew. Oh, there it is. Andrew Knoll. Do you think a 50-year-old recruit in the U.S. will have enough time to build up sufficient retirement savings, assuming they obtain work in the first 2 months to arrive and like live frugal? Of course, Andrew. I do. You're going to have to work 10 years, 10 qualifying years of Social Security. So you're 50. That gives you to 60. You can't collect Social Security until 62 at the earliest. Most people won't take it until they're 69. So that gives you 19 years to put 10 credible years of Social Security in, which will give you a check the rest of your life, and you qualify for Medicaid. Or Medicare, excuse me. That's that. And then if you work for a company, and it depends on what you make. I mean, if you make $30,000 a year, it's going to be tough to save a lot of money. You make $130,000 a year, you should be able to save money if you're frugal. You should be able to save a lot of money. Money can build very quickly. That's the secret of compounding, the magic of compounding. People miss that entirely. It's a good question, Andrew. Thank you for asking it. A lot of people miss that entirely. So here's a quarter. There's a quarter. You realize that quarter represents more in interest than I earn in a savings account that has a few $1,000s in it, because it's paying me 1/10 of 1% interest. That quarter I found lying on the street. Do you know where that quarter is going to go? In my savings account. Do you know where it goes from there? Transferred to another bank and then sent on for investments in mutual funds or in stocks. And that's where the money be made. So you've also got 401k plans, retirement plans. You've got Roth IRAs, all this stuff. You can build up a nest egg. Look, guys, I can't explain often enough or well enough how much a land opportunity in the country is, as long as you're astute, you're smart. If you're stupid, stupid people, they suffer. Anyway, that doesn't mean people don't have misfortune. Misfortune befalls people. It happens. But 50 years old, you should be able to save plenty of money to survive off of. Yep. $100 bill on a Starbucks floor once. Man, Blow Cup, I'm going to hang out with you. That's some really good four-leaf clover luck there. I've never found a $100 bill. Good night, T42 Rose. Thank you for all your hours you spend. It's my pleasure, Karen. Thank you all. And thank you guys for the super chats. Thank you for your patience with my people and their questions. Off now to reheat my bunny chow. I could go for a curry today. I really could go for a curry. I had some chicken last night. My girlfriend and I cracked fresh dunges last night. Well, happy birthday to your girlfriend, belated. The shells were 6 inches across, legs and slaw meat. All right, well, excellent, Dogzilla. I'm glad you enjoyed that, and happy belated birthday to your girlfriend. May says, when I pick up a coin, that's towards my first million. 401k? Well, I can explain it right now, Loretta. I don't have to do a video. 401k is just a category in the tax code. 401k is the section of the tax code, not $401,000. 401k is the section of the tax code which allows for retirement accounts. And they're from your employment normally. Your employer has a 401k plan. They can put money in there, and you can put money in there. And they can match it. Sometimes they do that. So that's a 401k, just as a way to mass a retirement account. Kyle Watkins, thank you for the 21 super chat. Appreciate that. I won $1,000 off a scratch off that I bought to prove it. You were going to prove it was rigged, and you won $1,000. That's funny. Big Beautiful Bill has a Donald Trump savings account for kids under 18. Yes, that's true. Look after the cents. The dollars will look after themselves. Okay. All right. I just don't put coins on train tracks. Yep. Ideally, you want a Roth. Yeah, a Roth 401 is fantastic if you qualify. So anyway, because the Roth will grow stuff when it pays out as tax exempt. That's the secret. The Roth IRA was brilliant. The individual retirement account, which we have, it was limited by income. It used to be you couldn't put money in, but with the Roth IRA, it was a little bit different. You paid taxes, and then you could put up to the threshold in there. And I did that when I was working, but I have a formal job. I can't do it now because I'm self-employed. Maybe I can do it anyway. So I used to put every year I would put money in my Roth IRA, and that's one of my smaller investment accounts, or not investment, retirement accounts. But the Roth IRA, when it pays out tax exempt. They can't tax it. It's awesome. Give me so much time. Yeah, I need to go, guys. I need to go. I need to get something to eat. I need to take care of some business. I also need to finish editing that video and get it up so somebody watches it tonight. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate your patience. 400 people still here at this hour. That's really incredible. I hope we answered your questions tonight. Tonight was a very non-confrontational. I didn't get upset with anybody. I didn't go on about answering the same question over and over again. I did the best I could here, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. All right, we'll see you later. Tomorrow's a new day. It's Monday, and we'll see what happens this week. Looking forward to it. And if refugees come over this week, that's fantastic. I look forward to hearing from any of them that come over here. I don't know they're coming. Just the fact they have a ticket doesn't mean they're coming. I'm going to try to find a way to find out if the people who have tickets booked are actually coming this week, since they haven't received any confirmation. All right? I'll see if I can figure that out. If I can't, I'll do a video on it. All right? All right. Anyway. And if I can't, I'll give you my analysis. Okay? I'll tell you if I have indications it's true or not. Okay? All right? That's going to do it. Cheers, everybody. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you next time. God bless. I mean, it's just insane. Oh, it's been 3 weeks. Okay, get a grip. I mean, honestly, people have no idea what's involved here. A thorough background investigation must be completed. You have to prove who you are, where you're from, what you're saying is true. That has to take place. There's an administrative process that has to take place. Interviews have to be conducted. Medical screening has to be done. All this stuff takes time.